It was the voice of a courageous explorer, a man dedicated to the pursuit of man's knowledge and the expansion of his horizons.
Good morning. Here is Nathan Ivy.
NathanIvy.com. Mr. Ivy know the show must go on. As far as Cincinnati, man, I put on. Jules made another flame beat for me to cook on. Raised arms, close fists, yeah, too strong. Team NI, chop it up at the chop shop. Top notch with the king flow, the hot shot. Cops watching, listen to the real, jumping like hopscotch. Nobody harder than, oh, no, think not. Not only citywide, but nationwide. Superlatives, keep it locked like them Haitian guys. Put the truth in the airwaves, we talk about it. Brand new like the templates, let's be about it. Who got the info about it? AM. John will be the rapper, got them jamming when they play him. Staying in my lane, they ain't gotta okay him. Who the host with the scoop? Yeah, they gon' say him. Ivy. So superlative like a bag of Drippos. Show you where the bricks at, Cincinnati red tag. One time where my people at. Team NI where my people at. It's the 5-1-3, yeah, you know the flow. What's the word, Nate? Let them know the show. One time where my people at. Team NI where my people at.
Broadcasting live from Cincinnati, Ohio, here's the king of superlative flows, Nathan Ivy.
Good morning, choppers. Welcome back. A beautiful week. A beautiful week. Great to be with you. Good morning, everyone. This is the Nathan Ivy Show. One man, one microphone, one mission, one incredible mission. We're going to bring the city together one superlative flow at a time. Good morning. Come on in, choppers. I've been waiting on you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I put a live feed on my Twitter page. It was up for like the last 24 hours. I might continue to do this as we flesh out this studio space so you can see the evolution. Transform. We're going to transform this space right before your very digital eyes. Just go to Nathan from Cincy for more. It's time to get things kicked off. Had a great time over the weekend, man. I have such an incredible family. I never thought that I would ever get married. And I never thought that I would ever have children. But I got to tell you, man, it is an absolutely amazing thing. You got to put your family to work. And it's great to know that my family supports me the way that they do. My wife and little Buddha, who was out and about. We ran into Lincoln Ware. He couldn't believe how big little Buddha's gotten. Yeah, we ran into him on Saturday down at the Center for Closing the Health Gas. Is it the 15th year? If I'm wrong about that, please, I apologize. No disrespect. I even got a chance to catch up with Dwight Tillery. I caught with Amy Murray, caught up with Avtad Puraval, caught up with Cedric Denson and others. Ran into Scotty J. That's right. And we chopped it up. Matter of fact, I put all the photographs. If you look at the podcast artwork for today, it's a collection of what went down this weekend. Forever time stamped in the podcast archives of the Nathan Ivy Show. This morning, I want to give mass props to Michelle Wolf. And guess what? You know, she broke it down. She basically called out Sarah Huckabee Sanders Lannister to her face. And while she didn't use Game of Thrones face, because my joke is much funnier, had she used Game of Thrones face, it would have tore the house down. Now, all these Republicans are running around. Oh, you can't talk about her. Oh, my ass. Because for years and years and years, Donald Trump was running around here employing a Southern racist strategy, questioning the birthright of Barack Obama. That was a far less crude and racially intended, injurious claim than anything that Michelle Wolf said. So all these Republicans, you wonder why, Michelle Wolf. Andrea Mitchell said that Michelle Wolf owes her an apology. A motherfucker, please. These Trumpsters owe us an apology for these damn lies they tell every single day. And it would be in today's world a woman. I'm telling you, who runs the world? Girls. Once again, a woman has the stones to tell these folks about themselves to their fucking face. And I love it. To their face. And I love it. I loved it. I loved it because it was so real. It was so authentic. It was great. You wake up this morning, Fox and Friends, they're all, the liberals, they disrespected us at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. No, the real disrespect was Donald Trump, who was the grand wizard of birtherism, who got elected on a Southern strategy. I mean, it's one thing to say you're a liar. It's another with this country's racial history to use a Southern strategy. That's what birtherism was. That's what it is. That's what it was intended to do, to inflame people racially. Oh, you're not even American. As if this country was set up to make an easy path for a black man to become the president. Oh, let me see your birth certificate. That was racism. Now the media is like, oh, Michelle Wolf was so crude. If you missed it, I got the clips. Don't worry about it. I got you. It was great. And Sarah Huckabee Sanders, to her credit, at least she had the stones to stow up. Because because the president didn't even show up. How do you not show up to the White House press correspondence dinner? You know what it is. Obama went. He made fun of it. He had fun with it. But Donald Trump, who was the grand wizard of birtherism, he's too sensitive. He can't take it. Now you can lead the angry mobs down a trail full of fucking lies, and you can use racism and birtherism to get yourself election, to get yourself clips, to get to red meat for the angry crowd. But you can't even show up to the White House. Second year, you can't show up when it's all about you, Mr. President. That's a weak man right there. A real man would show up himself. And instead, Sarah Huckabee Sanders and her Game of Thrones face, Michelle Wolf even made some mention to that face. It's obvious. It's not just me. People around the world can see what I see. And it was quite interesting. They're whining this morning. Why did she say these jokes? Why would she do this? It was so wrong. It was not wrong. There was nothing wrong about it. Everything about it was right, actually. This is a great moment in pop cultural history. And they want to whine, complain. Oh, Nathan. Well, how would they say these things about Sarah Huckabee Sanders? Whoa. Pat writes, did you ask Scotty to come on the show? No, I did not, but I will. And I had it was a very interesting, revealing conversation with Scotty J. It was very interesting. He gave me some perspectives that I didn't already have about the situation that happened with Blackwell and what's going on right now. None of which I can share with you. You already know I betray no allegiances. So we'll just leave it like that. But I will reach out to Scotty. I will reach out certainly to Scotty J and speak with you and let him come back to the studios, and he can face. Is it a firing squad or what is he facing here? I'm gonna tell you, Scotty J don't give a damn. I'm gonna tell you that right now. But I will, because I am a man of my word. I will. You can hold me to that, Pat. Good morning to you. Look, you already hold me to it. Did you ask Scotty to come on the show at 7:16 a.m.? Damn it. Very interesting. Ran into Amy Murray, and she's an incredibly short woman, and she's a member of city council. She was down at the Expo. It was good to see her. She was the only Republican that I saw. I didn't see Steve Shabbat. Where is Steve Shabbat? Steve Shabbat is never in the black community ever. He does not care. Is that fair to say? Am I going too far? You tell me. This is week 3 at the new studio, and all I can say is behind the scenes, things are happening. That's all I can say. And I've had a revelation over the weekend and know exactly what needs to be done. And I'm looking forward to it. Who did I run into? I ran into so many people, man. Oh, I ran into some listeners holding the show down. I appreciate you. I ran into Tracy. Tracy's mad at me. I mean, she's Nathan, I'm mad at you. I'm like, damn. And she was supposed to circle back around and tell me what it was, but she never got a chance to. I'm like, damn, she rolled out. I hooked up with Jerry Talib. So just imagine this. It was me, the wifey, little Buddha, my daughter, Jerry Tolliver, all Nathan Ivy t-shirts. Team and I rolling in force. And we was just working the event, you know. Was passing out flyers, ran into some people who were not connected with the show. What I will say is I picked up a few new subscribers and to all the new listeners, good morning to you. So expect me to be out and about, man. You know, great. The studio space is one thing, but I want to be out and about when things are happening, where things are happening. I want to be your eyes and ears. I want to talk with people. And I did just that. I got a ton of audio, which I'm still processing. Got a ton of audio from some interesting folks. Some folks might remember from 1230, the old station I was on, of a guy named Garrison. You might remember them. Well, Jerry Tolliver and I ran into him. And wow. And then he was damn near stalking Jerry. Like, we ran into Garrison like on the south end of Washington Park. And I set up a table and some chairs. I didn't have a booth. Next year, I'm going all the way. I'm going to have a booth. I already know exactly what we'll be doing. We'll be out there all day, fully branded up. What? Connecting with you. Look for that next year. And at events throughout the rest of the year, actually. Let me know what events are going on. I'm trying to put my calendar of events together. And so I was like, damn, well, how do I figure out what's going on here? There's so many things going on, you know, where people are coming together. So I put it on Facebook. So if we're Facebook connected, you know, and if there's an event going on, please, and I mean this, I'm not telling you I'm definitely going to be there, but what I'm saying is I want to know what's going on so I can make a calendar of events so I can plot out where I want to be. Okay, I want people to know every time I go out, I run into folks who have been disconnected from the show. And, you know, being able to give them a little bit of some, hit you with a hot card. Boom, there it is. Remember me. That's how we're going to grow this. Event by event, face to face, person to person. And I'm willing to do that. And I'm going to take you along with the ride or for the ride with me. Cincinnati needs an independent voice. So talk to Avtat Pourval. He's willing to come in studio very, very soon. I'm going to reach out to Steve Shabbos, folks. I'd love to get them both in studio at the same time. That would be great. I want to talk with Cedric Denson. If you're running for office this year, I want to talk with you. Tracy writes, Nathan, I did circle back, but Buddha was there, remember? Yeah, I remember, but I didn't understand why couldn't we just go ahead and talk? I remember. Let me back up here. I'm getting way ahead. I have to greet the choppers. That is my favorite part of every show, but let me set this up still. I'm still setting this up. So I definitely want to give you my sights and sounds and observations. There was a rat monkey snake sighting. There was. Who else did I run into? We just made a rare round. We went to every booth, saw everything, and then I circled back around myself. And the wifey was doing her thing. She was down there just all branded up. There's a photograph of us right now on my Twitter page. As a matter of fact, that's my home screen right now. It's a picture of the back of us, the back of the t-shirts that we were rocking. It was great. It was great. I took a photograph of all of us. You know what I'm saying? All branded up, Nathan Ivy looking great. And it was great. I saw a lot of folks who were like, what the hell is this? Kind of looking at the t-shirts, but it was a good thing, man. Had a great time, and Second Wind performed. And I know at least one of the folks that performs for Second Wind, so they always do a great job. They always do a great job. But again, there's photographs already up. This on my Facebook page, Nathan Ivey. Let's connect. If we're not already connected, what are we doing here? Let's connect. Let's connect this morning. If we're not connected, let's get connected. Real simple. Yeah, I love it. I love the fact that these Republicans are whining about Michelle Wolf. Oh, it was wrong. It was wrong. She told the truth and made some jokes out of it. She told some jokes. I mean, really, you know, what you're going to find out now is that all day long, these Republicans are going to go super hard on Michelle Wolf because she basically called Sarah Huckabee Sanders Lannister a liar straight to her face. That's basically what she did. And she said, basically, what is the white equivalent for Uncle Tom? You know, when white women disappoint other white women. And then she said, oh, yeah, Aunt Coulter, as in Ann Coulter. It was classic. And you could tell that, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, she's throwing her weight around, no pun intended. And she's, it's her way or no way. How dare you disrespect me? Even when you're telling the truth, you get up there and you lie for Donald Trump. It's quite obvious. You're dancing. You're dancing for Donald. She should do an exercise tape, dancing for Donald, because she's good at it. And Michelle Wolf called it out. It was just so great. It's so great. Also, have you ever heard of a guy named Talib Starks? Talib Starks is a brother. He's a black man. He's the author of what appears to be some bestsellers. And he's been getting some clicks recently. I'd say within the last 12 hours or so, because a video that he produced titled, let me make sure I get this right, because this is, you got to hear this. Oh, this is going to make your Monday. This is going to make your Monday. So the top issues facing Black America, right? The top 5 issues facing Black Americans. And as a Black American, whenever I see these kind of things, I'm always instantly kind of drawn to it. Like, okay, let me see if this is my top 5 list. And let's just say that none of this issues on my list. Like number 5 on this list is the victim mentality. Yeah. And it's a highly produced video where and you've seen these kind of videos a million times before where he's there and there's different illustrations and things are flying over and around and different sound effects. It looks like it was smartly produced. And he's running down his opinion of the top 5 issues facing Black America. And he starts with victimology. And it's his belief that too many Black people, too many Black parents are teaching their children victimology. And then victimology gets reinforced by the Black media. Yeah, one of those kind of brothers. Yeah. It's like Ben Carson and I don't even know, Armstrong Williams had a baby. Like a little ignorant bastard love child, grew up. And it's the way this guy thinks. And so he's a part of this like conservative network that's based online. Like I told you, there's a bunch of media companies that are based online these days, coming from all different viewpoints. And I just love the diversity of it. You can pretty much figure out what you want to hear and listen to or watch and view. And it's out there for you. So he's got this very conservative viewpoint. And apparently he's got this book called Black Lives Matter. Not lives, but Black Lies. Lies, as in it's probably an anthology or a collection of different ways in which Black people are to blame for their own circumstances. You know, some more of that Ben Carson-ish, right? And this guy's been getting crazy clicks off of this crazy ass video, probably because people are disgusted. I mean, I watched it. But really, you know, the first thing he hits you with is his viewpoint that Black parents teach their children victimology. He said, I got a term for it. It's called victimology, right? Like, ooh, this guy, you created you created that term? Sure, where'd it go? Had no idea. And I thought, wait a minute, I'm a black man married to a black woman, raising black kids. Let me do a soul search, a quick Google search of myself. Have I ever taught my kids victimology? And the answer is an unqualified. Actually, I say that with extreme malice and prejudice. Motherfucking no. Who out here is teaching their kid to be a victim? Nobody. No parent teaches their kid to be a victim. No parent teaches their kid, sets their kids up to be a victim with a victim mentality. I know I don't. Or mentality. I know I'm not. I'm raising motherfucking champions over here. That's what I'm raising. I'm raising the girl and boy equivalent of the Charlo brothers. That's what I'm raising. Physically and intellectually. That's what I'm about. Who out here is raising? Raise your hand if you've raising black kids and you're self-destructing your kids and teaching them about some kind of victimology. I was never raised that way. Nobody came at me like that. My mother, what? Who is this guy? Maybe his parents taught him about the victimology, but to say that, make some sweeping generality about black parents. Number one, it betrays every instinct that a parent has about their child. Your instinct is to raise your child up and be as strong as possible, right? Right. Black, white, Asian, makes no difference. You want your kid to be strong. Nobody's out here raising a victim. What father does that with their child? Is that what you think that black people do? That is ridiculous. It's the most ridiculous thing I've heard in my entire life. And it gets worse than that. Oh, yeah, it's the NAACP. It's black media. What black media is he talking about? And then on his Twitter page, he got the nerve to have a picture holding hands with a damn sexual assaulter, Bill Cosby. Oh, yeah, man, I sent him a nasty little tweet. His brother's name, what is his name? Talib something. It's definitely not Kweli. You already know that. The hell is his brother's name? Talib Starks. He's the author of Amazon's #1 bestseller, Black Lives Matter. Now, I'm going to do everything in my power to get this man on this show immediately. So he can get a proper understanding of the world that we live in. I am outraged. I'm outraged. Victimology. What the hell? Who? He must be backed by Sean Hannity. That sounds something like some of that right wing blah, 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 blah. I don't know any black people that teach their kids to be victims. None. I've never had that impulse. Now, I hope this isn't some kind of like supposed to be a clever way of sort of short-circuiting black people, black parents teaching their kids about racism, because that's different. And how things work in this world. That's not victimology. That's realness. That's being a parent in the real world. But see, this is the googly gop, stuff that comes out. There's an assault out here on America. I want you to understand. Is listen to me, choppers. There is some ish going down in America right now. Do you know I've watched over the weekend that another Waffle House is now embroiled in controversy? Would you like to know what happened? Black woman goes there early in the morning, right? It's a 24-hour joint. It's called the fucking Waffle House. See, sidebar. I am upset with America because if there is any of the meals that I enjoy the most, is breakfast. I grew up eating breakfast in the morning with my family members, especially on the weekends. Grits, bacon, sausage, eggs, fruit, milk, water, right? My grandparents always, and I mean always, said their prayers before they ate, whether they were in public or at home, whether it was a snack, didn't matter what it was. They were very, very, very religiously sort of like, they had these rituals that really meant a lot to them. You grow up, you see this all the time. Breakfast is like the best. That's the best meal of the day, man. It's the beginning of the day. It's your first eats of the day. Oh, man. And when it's done right, breakfast food is just so damn good, isn't it? Oh, you get your coffee. You know what I'm saying? Listen, you got a great stack of pancakes in front of you, some grits, some eggs, You got your coffee or your tea going. You know what I'm saying? You might top it off with some pie. What the fuck is better than that? Nothing. And I am so upset with the Waffle House chain for allowing racism to mix into breakfast time. I am beside myself with anger. Some things should always be sacred. And even breakfast ain't sacred no more. You got motherfuckers running there trying to shoot you up, killing people at a Waffle House. And now another Waffle House. You got a woman getting slammed around, Waffle House. Wait a minute. These are breakfast joints. And I saw a video of a weekend of a black woman who was trying to get into the Waffle House. Guess what? The doors were locked. And inside, you see nothing but white folks. They're eating and they're chilling or whatever. And you see people working there and they're on the grill and they making us pancakes and the eggs, flipping the pancakes, making sure that turkey bacon is so good. You know, I don't mess with that swine. You know, you already know. On rare occasions, I pick and choose. I'll be honest with you. So, so she's outside, right? And she can see people inside. One of the customers, a white male customer, comes over to the window and is like saying some ish to her. There's another white woman who walks past sort of looking like, we're eating breakfast and you're not. You want to know what happened? Well, of course, the national office got involved at Waffle House, and the national spokesman said that the doors never should have been locked. Would you like to know what the explanation was? There was nothing but white people inside. They never even acknowledged this woman, wouldn't even knock it, open the door or anything. The explanation is that they were understaffed. And because they were understaffed, they were trying to control how many people came into the establishment. So they were waiting for some people to leave. And I guess if somebody left, they were going to let one more person in, something like that. Now, you buy that? No, I don't buy it either. Telling you, it's some ish going on right now. It is going down right now in America. Nobody can deny it. If you deny it, then you're trying to put your head in the sand. But if you look up and you see it for what it really is, some ish is going down. Got police officers all over America. They're getting caught on video and these very not so good looks. And you got Killer Mike out here. He out here stumping for the NRA. I'm telling you, there is a real effort to get the attentions, to sway the opinions of African Americans on a variety of different levels, on a variety of different issues. And it's things are just heating up. I think the Russians are still at play. I think they are. Just gonna put it out there. Can you say Russia? Speaking of Russia, Black Russia, in terms of Cincinnati, Twitter is in full effect. I mean, these guys will never stop. This is their game plan. 1,000, not even thousands, but dozens, perhaps a dozen or so fake accounts. And they're just running that nonsense 24/7. It's quite a sight to see. It really is. I'll be inside the Friends Who Like the Nathan Ivey show. I'm telling you, things are going down. If you want to put content in front of the show, that's a great way to do it. Great way to do it. Things are going down right now. I mean, I don't know how to start. There's so many things. Texas school cop tells a student, get out of my face, and then shoves him into a wall. Did you see this? A Texas school resource officer, white male, is on suspension, after a video shows him shoving a student into a wall. The student stands peacefully by his desk when the officer, who is much larger and towers over him, tells him to get out of my face. The incident happened at Castleberry High School in Fort Worth. So on the video, you see this big old man, looks like he's 6 feet at least. You could tell he's got body armor underneath his thing. He's got the whole Batman utility belt. He walks over to a student, gets in the student's face. The student's hands are up like it could be taken one or two ways. One, it could be, the way I took it was he was putting his hands up as to say, I'm not making any gestures. So his hands are up like in a cross, okay, with his palms up. Like palms down means something different than palms up. Palms down could be when you come close, I'm going to hit you in your motherfucking face, or I've got something in my hand. Palms up is sort of universally a sign of I don't have anything in my hands and I'm giving up and I'm not a problem. Well, this white male police school resource officer gets into this young man's face. We're talking about a student. He yells, "Get out of my face," after walking over to the student. I mean, that's on a micro level. That is the essence of what's wrong with some police community, police citizens interaction, is that the police officers are provoking it. They're taking it farther than they need to in some of these cases. It's the truth. In this case, it's very obvious. And, you know, he walks over to this young man. The young man has this standing there, Jesus style, with his hands up. And he pushes him, like, not just like a little get out of here twerk push, but he like 2-hand pushes him like you would a grown man and you about to set it off. And then I think he proceeds to arrest this guy. See, that is happening way too much. These what appear to be minor abuses are really major abuses. And the reason why they continue to happen is because nobody really is seriously committed to doing what it takes to force the police to change and changing that culture, because everybody's punked out. Because what will happen is, and the police don't like it when I say this, I'm a big fan of the police, but in my observation, what happens is that when the police officers get caught up in their feelings, they get the blue flu. Oh, you don't want to patrol anymore. Oh, we're going to let the criminals do what they want to do. Then it's like, oh, we got to react. Come on, man. That's like a form of extortion, isn't it? That's not right. Some people are saying that Donald Trump might get the Nobel Peace Prize. Lindsey Graham says that if Donald Trump gets the Nobel Peace Prize, the liberals are going to lose their mind. And you know what? He's right about that. Just the same way conservatives lost their mind when Obama won it first. I mean, nothing Donald Trump does is ever going to trump Obama. I don't care. It makes no, I mean, they're too far behind in my mind to ever even compare. But that's just me. That's just me. What do you think? What's popping in your world? A federal appeals court says that Texas voter ID law isn't racist. Sucks for Florida. And let's talk about Joy Ann Reid. Everybody loves Joy Reid. We all love Joy Reid. I've given Joy Reid a lot of props. Is Joy Reid lying? Did she just get caught? Like I told you, the Republicans are not going to sit back and allow these people in the media that might have some dirt on them and allow it to not come out. Joy Reid has been a thorn media wise in Donald Trump's side. And all of a sudden, somebody went back to her blog and found some racist tweets. You know why? That's because there are people out there that's what they'll do. There are organizations out there and folks that'll get online to try to get some dirt on somebody. They'll spend the next 2 weeks going back through Joy Reid's timeline for the next 6 years. For the past 6 years to try to find one wrong tweet or one inappropriate tweet, and it looks like they found them. Apparently, Joy Reid, she's got a problem with homosexuals. Joy Reid's got a problem with homosexuals. This black woman isn't enlightened. Apparently, she has some homophobic posts. Yeah. Now, Joy Reid doesn't strike me as a woman that would be homophobic, but we know that homophobia is something that's prevalent in a lot of communities. You know, we're a lot better than we are now, but back in the day, no. I mean, you go back just 10 years ago. So apparently she's claiming, quote, "I genuinely do not believe that I wrote those hateful things because they are completely alien to me. But I cannot definitively understand based on things I have tweeted and have written in the past why some people don't believe me." Okay, here's the problem with it. The problem with it is, and I was talking with Jerry Tolliver about this over the weekend. She said, it was so funny. She said, "I feel like a Trump supporter." And what she means is we have watched Trump supporters stand by him when it was obvious that Trump was fucking lying, when it was obvious that Trump was either out of his mind, didn't know what he was doing, or making it up on the fly. And people who are not Trump supporters, you stand back and you look at it and say, how could you be so dumb? How could you be so blind? How could you be so naive? And now people are doing that with Joy Reid. Joy Reid she wrote those damn homophobic words. You know she did. Stop lying, Joy. I don't remember. Maybe I did, but I think I was hacked. Now, there have been investigations as to whether she's been hacked, and so far, there's no evidence that Joy Reid was hacked. So that means that Joy Reid or somebody close to Joy Reid actually wrote those words. And Joy Reid's talking about, I just don't remember. So it's the same thing when Donald Trump's talking about Stormy. I don't know that woman, but yeah, don't want her to talk about anything that I don't know about because I don't know her. But yes, I did enter agreement with her. Yeah, Michael Cohen, he doesn't represent me in anything, but yes, he does represent me with Stormy Daniels. It's the same BS, man. We got to call Joy Reid out. I'm telling you, Trump is behind this. Trump is winning. What's next? We're going to find out something about Rachel Maddow. What's next? Telling you, Trump is watching television every single night. It's within his wheelhouse and his personality. He sees somebody teeing off on him on television. He's like, oh, word, get him. He sicks the goons on him. And his media goons go to work. They try to find dirt on whoever, about whatever, whenever. That's what's happening here. That's what's happening here, man. It's quite evident. It's quite evident. Quote, I can only say that I can only say that the person I am now is not the person I was then. So on one hand, she's saying it wasn't her, but on the other hand, she's apologizing because she's a new person. Joy Reid is lying, y'all. It's quite obvious she's lying about this. So now she's been discredited. You got Joy Readers. What is it called? The readers. You got readers out here acting like Trumpsters. Like, you don't know. Oh, well, yeah, maybe. Yeah, well, I had a friend's girlfriend's baby mama. She got hacked once. So, yeah, it can't happen. Making excuses. Call it what it is. I have yet to see the Avengers movie. I did not see it over the weekend. If you saw the Avengers movie, please share with me. I'd like to know. No spoilers, please. But how is it? Is it worth my time and money? Chuck Dace, that avatar is very confusing. It's very confusing. Let's get to the choppers. Miss D writes greetings. Omar writes good morning. And Chuck Dace writes sup Nate and the Chop Shop. That is your top three in the Chop Shop for today, Monday, April 30th, 2018. Damn, May, right around the corner. Had a great weekend. Saturday was absolutely great. Sunday was good. Just busy. So just doing the daddy thing and the husband thing and the Nathan Ivey thing. Got a chance to connect with some potential new partners as well. And apparently there's a new guy over at the Wiz because he was hustling as well. He was down there doing what you should be doing. He had some hot cards and he came over to the booth. I can't remember the guy's name, but I took his card and I gave him mine. He's like, oh, yeah, I like this, man. Live, local, and vocal. He was like, yo, I've been saying live, local, and lit. I said, there it is, man. Great minds think alike. There it is. But generally speaking, it was a good time. Did you get a chance to go down to the Health Gap? I ran into who else? I ran into Sister Regina. I saw her. It's good to see her. Yeah, I mean, it was good to see her. Ran into a lot of folks, man. I love being out and about and love talking with folks, connecting, talking about the issues. Little Buddha was being shy. Yeah. I said, listen, girl, take this and pass it out to people. She's like, I don't know what to say, Daddy. I said, girl, You know what to say. You just go out and you talk to people. What am I going to say, Daddy? I'm like, what? Oh, my God. These little ones, man. It was a blessed weekend. It's a very blessed weekend. And I'm blessed to be with you right now, right here, right now. This is the Nathan Ivey Show, live, local, and vocal, broadcasting live from Cincinnati, Ohio. And we'll be right back.
Before you book your next photographer, ask yourself this. Do they have the skill and experience to handle your project? Can they provide outstanding images at an affordable rate? You may want to consider Shanghai. With Shanghai Imaging, you not only receive quality custom images, but a reliable professional photographer ready to handle your visual needs. Shanghai Imaging specializes in wedding and family photography, personal boudoir videography, real estate photography, and even modeling portfolios at a great affordable rate. Well, what are you waiting for? Contact Shanghai at 513-278-7717 or visit their website at shanghaiimaging.com today, because imaging is everything.
Okay, so 5 tacos of cheese and a large soda. That's $10,012. Please drive around.
Wait, 10,000 what?
It's obvious you're buzzed and driving.
I've only had a few. I'm fine.
Yeah, the food's $12, but getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Please drive around. Actually, just park and come in.
Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the...
Okay, Simon, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. And what do people normally wear?
Clothes.
Exactly. So now Mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Clothes keep us warm, they look good, and if we go out without them, the neighbors will talk. So it's important to know how to get dressed. Here's how it's done. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole, or you have to start all over. If you're wearing a tie, it goes over, round, through, and pull tight. Tuck your shirt into your pants and zip up your fly. Socks going first, then shoes right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops. The rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears.
I love bunnies.
Good to know. Now remember, spots don't go with stripes, socks don't go with sandals, and if you've tucked in your shirt, wear a belt. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But spending just 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier and could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. For fun 2-minute videos to watch while brushing, visit 2min2x.org. That's 2min2x.org. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ag.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
You must have thrown 1,000 pitches teaching him to hit a home run. Spent countless Saturdays running routes so he could learn to hit an open receiver. Endless afternoons teaching him how to hit the three-pointer. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit? Teaching boys that all violence against women is wrong is one of the most important things a man can do. Learn how to start the conversation at teachearly.org. Brought to you by Futures Without Violence.
If you're a single man under the age of 35, you'd probably like to know what the ladies are looking for on an online dating site. A guy who had a few drinks and later got pulled over for buzz driving. See, that could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. And doesn't a guy who's back living with his parents but calls them my roommates just scream Mr. Right?
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety.
It only takes a minute.
This is the Nathan Ivey Show. Get ready to be engaged. Get ready to be informed. Get ready to be enlightened. Get ready to be enraged by the man City Beat Magazine called a talk radio rebel. And your host. Now back to the show.
Man, we live in a crazy, mixed-up world, don't we? But always great to get back with you every single morning. This is the Nathan Ivey Show, live, local, and vocal. NathanIvey.com. People always ask me because people are conditioned to think of like talk radio in terms of a station. And you say, well, they say, what station you with? I say, the best one in the world, NathanIvey.com. They say, oh, okay, your website, yeah. Yeah. Very easy. Become a subscriber and you get an instant notification whenever we go live. And if you are the kind of person that likes to text, if you're creative that way, we'll consider this an invitation to join the Chop Shop, where we chop it up every single morning about the great issues of the day. It's crazy out here what's happening, yo. What can we do about it? What can we do about it? How can we affect it in a positive way? What's popping in the city that I'm missing? Anything? Popping around the world. I'll tell you, one woman in particular is getting crazy hate. She's getting crazy hate because of what she says. And that's Michelle Wolf. She was at the White House, was a correspondence dinner. And it's typical that it's like a roasting. It's like a political roast. And Trump didn't show up this year because basically he's weak. I look at it very weakly. Like you could talk all this shit about Obama. You got all this to say, and some of it was just racist and just downright lies. But when somebody wants to come back with you in a humorous way and they're actually telling the truth, you can't handle it. I mean, does Sarah Huckabee Sanders live in a world where everyone has to believe her BS? Because I don't want to live in that world. That's not the world I want to live in. I thought it was great. You had one host on MSNBC is already calling for Michelle Wolf to offer an apology. She's a comedian, and I saw one of her stand-ups. She got a different kind of style. I think she came up through The Daily Show. They had some incredible talent over there, didn't they? They had some absolutely incredible talent. If you missed any of it, here's a couple of minutes. Check this out.
This is long. This has been long. Yeah. Good evening. Good evening. Here we are, the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Like a porn star says when she's about to have sex with a Trump, let's get this over with. Yep, kiddos, this is your getting tonight. I'm going to skip a lot of the normal pleasantries. We're at a Hilton. It's not nice. This is on C-SPAN. No one watches that. Trump is president. It's not ideal. The White House Correspondents Association, thank you for having me. The monkfish was fine. And just a reminder to everyone, I'm here to make jokes. I have no agenda. I'm not trying to get anything accomplished. So everyone that's here from Congress, you should feel right at home. Now, before we get too far, a little bit about me. A lot of you might not know who I am. I'm 32 years old, which is an odd age. 10 years too young to host this event, and 20 years too old for Roy Moore. I know, he almost got elected. Yeah. It was fun. It was fun. Honestly, I never really thought I'd be a comedian, but I did take an aptitude test in 7th grade, and this is 100% true. I took an aptitude test in 7th grade, and it said my best profession was a clown or a mime. Well, at first it said clown, and then it heard my voice and was like, or maybe mime. Think about mime. And I know as much as some of you might want me to, it's 2018 and I'm a woman, so you cannot shut me up. Unless you have Michael Cohen wire me $130,000. Michael, you can find me on Venmo under my porn star name, Reince Priebus. Reince just gave a thumbs up. Okay. Now, people are saying America is more divided than ever. But I think no matter what you support politically, we can all agree that this is a great time for craft stores. Because of all the protests, Poster Board has been flying off the shelves faster than Robert Mueller can say, "You've been subpoenaed." And thanks to Trump, pink yarn sales are through the roof. After Trump got elected, women started knitting those pussy hats. When I first saw them, I was like, that's a pussy? I guess mine just has a lot more yarn on it. Yeah. Should have done more research before you got me to do this. Now, there is a lot to cover tonight. There's a lot to go over. I can't get to everything. I know there's a lot of people that want me to talk about Russia and Putin and collusion, but I'm not going to do that because there's also a lot of liberal media here, and I've never really wanted to know what any of you look like when you orgasm. Except for maybe you, Jake Tapper. I bet it's something like this. Okay, that's all the time we have. Crazy that the Trump campaign was in contact with Russia when the Hillary campaign wasn't even in contact with Michigan. It's a direct flight. It's so close. Of course, Trump isn't here, if you haven't noticed. He's not here. And I know I would drag him here myself, but it turns out the President of the United States is the one pussy you're not allowed to grab. He said it first. Yeah, he did. You remember? Good. Now, I know people really want me to go after Trump tonight, but I think we should give the president credit when he deserves it. Like, he pulled out of the Paris Agreement. And I think he should get credit for that because he said he was going to pull out, and then he did, and that's a refreshing quality in a man. Most men are like, I forgot. I'll get you next time. Oh, there's going to be a next time? And people say romance is dead. Trump names all the time. And look, I could call Trump a racist or a misogynist or xenophobic or unstable or incompetent or impotent. But he's heard all of those and he doesn't care. So tonight, I'm going to try to make fun of the president in a new way, in a way that I think will really get him. Mr. President, I don't think you're very rich. Like, I think you might be rich in Idaho, but in New York, you're doing fine.
So that's Michelle Wolf. Maybe more minutes of it than you were anticipating, but I wanted to give you a sense of the level of the comments. And this is an annual ritual. They do this every single year. And it's a roast. You know, a roast is supposed to be stuff that's true that, you know, people are, you know, it's hard to say to your face, or maybe it's exaggerated things about you, whatever. And I think ultimately it's done in good fun, but a good comic that does that kind of material can really leave some wounds.
Pouring oil in Don Jr.'s hair. Trump is so broke. Southwest used him as one of their engines. I know, it's so soon. It's so soon for that joke. Why did she tell it? It's so soon. Trump is so broke. He had to borrow money from the Russians, and now he's compromised and not susceptible to blackmail and possibly responsible for the collapse of the Republic. Yay! It's a fun game. Trump is racist, though. He loves white nationalists, which is a weird term for a Nazi. Calling a Nazi a white nationalist is like calling a pedophile a kid friend. Or Harvey Weinstein a ladies' man. Which isn't really fair. He also likes plants. Trump's also an idea guy. He's got loads of ideas. You gotta love him for that. He wants to give teachers guns, and I support that, because then they can sell them for things they need, like supplies. A lot of protractors. A lot of people want Trump to be impeached. I do not. Because just when you think Trump is awful, you remember Mike Pence. Mike Pence is what happens when Anderson Cooper isn't gay. Mike Pence is the kind of guy that brushes his teeth and then drinks orange juice and thinks, Mike Pence is also very anti-choice. He thinks abortion is murder, which, first of all, don't knock it till you try it. And when you do try it, really knock it. You know, you gotta get that baby out of there. And yeah, sure, you can groan all you want. I know a lot of you are very anti-abortion, you know, unless it's the one you got for your secret mistress.
Right.
It's fun how values can waver. But good for you. Mike Pence is a weirdo, though. He's a weird little guy. He won't meet with other women without his wife present. When people first heard this, they were like, that's crazy. But now in this current climate, they're like, that's a good witness. Which, of course, brings me to the Me Too movement. It's probably the reason I'm here. They were like, a woman's probably not going to jerk off in front of anyone, right? And to that I say, don't count your chickens. There's a lot of parties. Now, I've worked in a lot of male-dominated fields. Before comedy, I worked at a tech company.
Okay, enough of that. I get it. We'll get to the Sarah Huckabee Sanders Lannister part in just a couple of minutes. If you're just tuning in, like, what the hell is that Nathan show? Yeah, it's me. I'm here. I was simply giving you a sense of what happened over the weekend with Michelle Wolf and her comedy routine at the 2018 White House Correspondents' Dinner. And it's an annual tradition. And Donald Trump didn't show up because, you know, he can tell jokes, but he doesn't like to actually be the brunt of the brunt of the joke, right? Remember that joke he used to tell about Obama? Let us see your birth certificate. It's called birtherism. It was a Southern strategy. It was racist to the core. When you can't beat a black man, you invalidate him. Oh, you surely can't be an American. It was racist in a lot of ways.
I had a lot of jokes about cabinet members, but I had to scrap all of those because everyone has been fired. You guys are going through cabinet members quicker than Starbucks throws out black people. No, don't worry. They're having an afternoon. That'll solve it. We just needed an afternoon. Mitch McConnell isn't here tonight. He had a prior engagement. He's finally getting his neck circumcised. Mazel. Paul Ryan also couldn't make it. Of course, he's already been circumcised. Unfortunately, while they were down there, they also took his balls. Yeah, bye, Paul. Great acting, though, in that video. Now, Republicans are easy to make fun of. You know, it's like shooting fish in a Chris Christie. But I also want to make fun of Democrats. Democrats are harder to make fun of because you guys don't do anything. People think you might flip the House and Senate this November, but you guys always find a way to mess it up. You're somehow going to lose by 12 points to a guy named Jeff Pedophile Nazi Doctor. Oh, he's a doctor. We should definitely talk about the women in the Trump administration. There's Kellyanne Conway. Man, she has the perfect last name for what she does. Conway. It's like if my name was Michelle Jokes, frizzy hair, small tits. You guys gotta stop putting Kellyanne on your shows. All she does is lie. If you don't give her a platform, she has nowhere to lie. It's like that old saying, if a tree falls in the woods, how do we get Kellyanne under that tree? I'm not suggesting she gets hurt, just stuck. Stuck under a tree. Incidentally, a tree falls in the woods is Scott Pruitt's definition of porn. Yeah, we all have our kinks.
That is so funny.
There's also, of course, Ivanka. She was supposed to be an advocate for women, but it turns out she's about as helpful to women as an empty box of tampons. She's done nothing to satisfy women. So I guess, like father, like daughter. Oh, you don't think he's good in bed. Come on. She does clean up nice, though. Ivanka cleans up nice. She's the diaper genie of the administration. On the outside, she looks sleek, but the inside, it's still full of shit. And of course, we have Sarah Huckabee Sanders. We are graced with Sarah's presence tonight. I have to say, I'm a little starstruck. I love you as Aunt Lydia on The Handmaid's Tale. Mike Pence, if you haven't seen it, you would love it. Every time Sarah steps up to the podium, I get excited because I'm not really sure what we're going to get. You know, a press briefing, a bunch of lies, or divided into softball teams. It's shirts and skins, and this time don't be such a little bitch, Jim Acosta. I actually really like Sarah. I think she's very resourceful. Like, she burns facts, and then she uses that ash to create a perfect smoky eye. Like, maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's lies. It's probably lies. And I'm never really sure what to call Sarah Huckabee Sanders. You know, is it Sarah Sanders? Is it Sarah Huckabee Sanders? Is it Cousin Huckabee? Is it Auntie Huckabee Sanders? Like, what's Uncle Tom but for white women who disappoint other white women? Oh, I know, Aunt Coulter. We've got our friends at CNN here. Welcome, guys. It's great to have you.
Roasted her while she stood. She stood like, or she was sitting, I'd say about 10 feet, maybe 11 feet to her left. And her face was not happy. That was excellent. It was worth every minute of it. It was great. I loved it. Loved it. That's what's going on in the world. And here's a brother his name is Talib Starks. And he put out a video titled The Top 5 Issues Facing Black Americans. And I'm going to load this in the background. I want you to hear what this brother has to say. Check this out.
Here's my list. Problem number 5, the victim mentality. Nothing holds someone back more than seeing himself as a victim. Why? Because a victim is not responsible for his situation. Everything is someone else's fault. And the victim sees little chance of improving his life. How can he get ahead if someone is holding him back? All this makes the victim unhappy, frustrated, and angry. This is how too many blacks see themselves, as victims. So much so that their victim status becomes their primary identity and their ruling ideology. I call it victimology. Unfortunately, many black churches preach this victimology. Many black parents pass it on to their children. Inner city schools teach it to their students, and the black media reinforce it. Meanwhile, the NAACP and other black grievance groups fundraise on it. Problem number 4, lack of diversity.
Let me jump in here and bring some common sense to the game. This is a video, straight propaganda that's been circulating throughout the internet for the last, probably over the weekend. The victim. I call it victimology. Well, do you, Brainiac? Never heard that before. You ever been around a man who says something as if it was the first time, like he thinks it's the first time that it's ever been uttered from a man's lips before? Like it's the gospel? I call it victimology. Really? Never heard that before. Wow, you're smart. He said victim. I want to challenge this because I'm a black man. I'm a black man who's married to a black woman. I've been black all my life. I was raised by black people. Of course, we got white folks in our family like everybody else. But I was raised in black neighborhoods, in black households, at black dinner tables and breakfast tables. So, I'm black, y'all. And I was never raised with a victim mentality ever. Grandparents never talked about victim mentality to me. I was never like, hey, guess what, son? Well, you're black. Because you're black, you're never going to be able to make it because of the white man. That never happened. Now, did we discuss race and an intellectual standpoint in a way that was useful? For sure we did. But I challenge this notion that black people, black parents raise their kids with a victim mentality. I don't see it. It actually betrays everything you know about parenting. Parents don't do that with their kids. It's your natural thing with your kid is always to raise them to be strong because they have to be strong in this crazy world. He says the black church, so he indicted everybody. It's black parents, the black church, and black media. Number one, where is black media? Does black media even exist? Well, of course it does. I mean, you got in different places. You got some black-owned corporations here, and you got black media like Griot and other places that have more of a urban audience. Well, sure you do. But I haven't seen any of those places reinforce victimology. Like calling out racism is not victimology. Victimology would be, oh, son, guess what? The only ways you gonna get anything is on that welfare. So cause the white man gonna hold you down. So you might as well give up before you even try, son. And just get on that welfare and you be good. I mean, who talks to their kids like that? Is that how your parents taught you? My parents never talked to me like that, ever. Never remember those kind of conversations. I must have missed them. But he says it's the victimology, he says, in the black press, the black media. What black media? The black media is not selling you victimology. Now, if you had said the black media is selling you hip hop and they're selling you commercialism and they're selling you these kind of things, okay, you may have it. But to say there is victimology, no. But let's go back. He's got more on his goofy little list.
His life. How can he get ahead if someone is holding him back? All this makes the victim unhappy, frustrated, and angry. This is how too many blacks see themselves, as victims. So much so that their victim status becomes their primary identity and their ruling ideology. I call it victimology. Unfortunately, many black churches preach this victimology. Many black parents pass it on to their children. Inner city schools teach it to their students, and the black media reinforce it. Meanwhile, the NAACP and other black grievance groups fundraise on it. Problem number 4, lack of diversity. Blacks repeatedly demand an honest dialogue or debate about race. But how can there ever be an honest dialogue about race between blacks and whites when there is virtually no honest dialogue between blacks and blacks? It's hypocritical. And if a black doesn't think whites are ultimately responsible for black people's problems, they're labeled a sellout, Uncle Tom, or race traitor. As long as this type of groupthink exists, race reverence of the Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson type will continue to be celebrated, while independent black thinkers such as Professors Thomas Sowell and Walter Williams will be shunned. The honest race dialogue and debate that first has to happen is not between blacks and whites, but between blacks and blacks. We demand diversity from others, but need to practice it ourselves where it really matters, in thought, opinion, and even political affiliation. Problem number 3, urban terrorism. As just about everyone knows, but too few talk about publicly, in majority black cities, violent black-on-black crime is rampant. A Department of Justice study from 1980 through 2008 revealed that blacks accounted for almost half of the nation's homicide victims, 47.4%, and more than half for the offenders, 52.4%, all while being 13% of America's population. The Tuskegee Institute conducted a study of all known lynchings of blacks that occurred between 1882 through 1968. During this 86-year span, which is essentially the post-Civil War era up to the Civil Rights era, 3,446 blacks were reportedly lynched. Presently, black-on-black murder eclipses the number of blacks lynched over the course of 80 years, roughly every 6 months.
No, he didn't.
Unbelievably, the culpability for this disproportionate amount of mayhem actually lies with a menacing 2 to 3% minority within the black populace. I call them urban terrorists. And since they're literally spawned from problem number 2, the black community protects them. Problem number 2.
So wait. That's another one of these lies. That the black community is out here protecting criminals. These lies, this is the kind of propaganda that is out there on the internet right now. I'm telling you, there's a full-on assault. It's a full-on media assault out there. You know, it's a fight for the next generation at this point. It really comes down to it. You're like, Nate, what were you playing? I was playing a clip that's been circulated. The brother you just heard, he is a brother. His name is Talib Starks. And he's the host of a show on a network called, what is it called? It's called Compound Media. And he does a show on that network, but it looks like he's got caught up with some of these conservative media elements. And they've got all these websites out where they can mass produce these propaganda videos trying to convince you. I mean, what's next? Crystal writes, good morning. Kush writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Pat writes, good morning. Sluggo writes, good morning. Mr. Avery writes, good morning. Kiki writes, great risings, Mr. Ivy and the Choppers. Tiffany writes, morning all. Deborah writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Kiki writes, you were on Periscope yesterday, but no activity. Right. I just set up a camera. I was just testing it out and just had it up in the room. I think he was like pointed toward the window. Clue Magic writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Kelly writes, good morning, Nathan. Pat writes, did you ask Scotty to come on the show? See how they do you? Charles writes, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Pat writes, no firing squad? See, Brian writes, good morning, Cleveland. This is for you. Woo. Yeah, LeBron James. I was so happy to see them go to the second round because it'll keep my interest. It'll keep my interest. I'll be interested now. I'll watch more of it now because there's a real possibility that, that they can still go for a championship. It's going to be a tough road, man. LeBron had to put like 40 plus minutes in, 44 points a game. It's amazing what he's able to do. Everybody knows what he's getting the ball. Everybody knows that he's that guy, and he's still able to go out there and produce. I mean, that is just huge, man. I'm telling you. LeBron, even at his age, is the best of the game. He's the top of the game. He's better than Russell Westbrook, who was eliminated. Russell Westbrook was eliminated. He got all that firepower. If LeBron James was on, listen, if you took LeBron James and replaced him with Russell Westbrook, that team would be in the second round, no doubt about it. And I don't think anybody out there who knows anything about basketball would debate that. Bunky writes, what's up, Nate and the Choppers? So did we have a weekend? Damn. Cam writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Graston writes, good morning. Yes, we did, Cardi. Mazone writes, good morning, Choppers. Charlotte Girl Wonder writes, good morning, Choppers. Bunky writes, what's up, Diamond? Graston writes, Michelle Wolf will have to apologize eventually. Trump's going to make that happen. He might. Let me see. Graston writes, there was a Tristan Thompson sighting yesterday. Cavs suck. They not beating Philly. Well, again, we don't know. We don't know with the Cavs, quite honestly. It's the second round, different matchups, different opportunities. All we need is a couple of the youngsters to step up, and this team is popping. I don't like the Cavs long term. I'll stand by that. I don't think that they can beat the Warriors, and I don't think they can beat the Houston Rockets. Their defense isn't good enough. They don't play good enough defense they don't play championship level defense. And that's because their best players are not really good defenders. Now, I don't understand how you could play basketball and not be a good defender. Okay, all you got to do is pay attention and cut off angles and be smart about it. But Kyle Korver, slow feet. Kevin Love, slow feet. I don't get it. These are things they can work on. But the Cavs are not constructed to compete in today's world. They're not. I do not believe they can beat the Warriors, and I do not believe that they can beat the I'm not even sure they can beat Philadelphia, quite honestly, but we shall see. It'll be fun to watch no matter what. Graston writes, plenty of parents are pushing the victim mentality, Nate. Oh, really? I don't see it. Did your parents teach a victim mentality? I mean, that's what I like to know. I mean, if my parents didn't teach that. I had one of my best friends. We were really, really close. His name is Marcus. His mother raised him. We both grew up in Walnut Hills. We were very tight. So I got a chance to spend a lot of time at his house and being around his mother and the environment his mother created. She didn't raise him that way. I have 2 brothers, 2 sisters. None of them were raised on no victim-ish. Who's got time to be a victim? It's too much that needs to be done out here. My mother didn't raise us that way. She wasn't that kind of woman. Now, we all understand the situations that went down now with slavery and racism. And see, what I'm saying is you can't shame me away from the truth. Oh, it's the victim mentality. Stop talking about slavery's effects. You can't shame me away from the truth. I already know what the truth is. Let's see here. This is March 20th. A woman is charged with felony assault after she is accused of entering a local school and punching a teacher in the mouth. Police say that Rosalind Mitchell, 32, went to Frederick Douglass Elementary Thursday because she was upset about a situation concerning her daughter, who's a student there. According to a police report, Mitchell punched a female teacher hard enough to cause severe bleeding. Police said Mitchell took off but was arrested later. She's now charged with a felony under the same law that protects police officers from assault. And she's being held on a $25,000 bond. Now, I don't know if this is an example. To me, that's not an example of a victim mentality. We never know what that teacher said. Like I said, when you're dealing with people and their kids, that's when a human being is at their most dangerous. Yeah, you can get hit in your mouth. It ain't right. I'm not saying that you do it. I mean, I'm not telling you that I'm going to do that. I will try to handle things in a much more, peaceful way. Okay. No matter what, even if I thought I can get away with it, you know what I'm saying? I'm not about that. I'm not about going up to the school and hitting anybody. Okay. But I do know this, that when I pick up my kids every day, that I know I'm on a full alert for them to tell me something happened at that school. And I do know that when your kids get involved, that sometimes you can get overly emotional. And I think that should be considered. We never know what this teacher said. This teacher could have been talking fly and got punched in the eye. Talking fly can get you smacked in the eye, male or female. Everybody knows that. So let's stop acting like we don't know these things to be true. Everybody knows it. Talking fly can get you smacked in the eye. And so I don't know what happened. I don't know the circumstances, and I'm not even, without more information, it's hard to really pick or choose either way. And I know you're saying, well, somebody assaulted someone, Nate. Well, I think that woman is wrong to put her hands on her. At the same time, I don't know the circumstances. I've never been pushed to a point where I wanted to put my hands on a teacher. Okay. Could I? Sure, I could. But I've never been there before, so I don't know if it's an incredible thing to try to not do or do you just say, bump it. I'm going to go for mine right here, right now. I don't know. Mazone writes, T. Greg, are you in every single black household? ? So that is your little opinion. Never facts backed by your data. Drop Squad writes, I'm 58 and I've been the witness of the decline of the black family. My voice needs to be in this type. Most of the young people will not listen to older people. There hasn't been a decline in the black family. You have. You're right about that. But I don't think that in terms of like black people not getting married. Okay. We know about those numbers, but even single black people are not raising their kids to be a victim. I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all. And when I say that, here's what I say, that there's exceptions to every rule. When you're dealing with human beings, there are exceptions to every rule, but the rule still holds. And you might run out there and find one or two families in a million that might even say, yeah, we tell them about the police, they can do what they want. You might find some people that's all, drugged out or something like that. When people are on drugs, everything gets compromised. Everything gets compromised when somebody's on drugs. So why wouldn't that be compromised? But other than that, no, I don't see that. Black people, see, that's more of the miseducation of white people about black people. See, what'll happen is you're going to see some good old boys, and they're going to use that to further justify the things they do and the way they feel and the things they think about black people. Like, oh, well, black people are this victim-ish. We don't owe you anything. Well, it ain't about you owing me. It's about you owing us. That's number one. That's one thing. When you talk about reparations and all those kind of things, it's not about owing me individually. It's about collectively. Okay. But number two, you can't shame me intellectually away from what I know is the right way to go. Sister V writes, I'd like for Talib to stop further victimizing the black community with his dog whistle, lace foolish. If he was talking about black codes that are still being practiced today, I wouldn't even get circulated. This is their way of backhanding black leaders who call out the BS, right? This is straight up propaganda campaign. That's what it is. Muzone writes, that Talib is in the cooning business. We're going to see more and more of these type of so-called black folks. Diamond and Silk said the cooning for profit standards. Cooning is big business in today's America. See, there you go. You see, just incorrigible. Damn, Muzone. You gonna break it down like that? Kermir writes, I found Michelle's humor unfunny and a profane routine. Her criticism on the Republican candidate's joke were mild of jokes. The Comedy Central roast was a lot more funnier and the jokes were more case on point. Really? I thought her jokes were super on point. Tina Taylor writes, the only truth to that nonsense is the people who don't have any better succumbing to the traps and narrative of white supremacy. If you don't know who you are, you will be what others tell you are. When you know better, you do better. Drop Squad writes, good morning, Nathan, of the Nathan Ivey Show. I just retired and want a podcast. Is 30 years of life of wisdom, is it possible? I think it is. Hit me up, Drop Squad. Let's talk. Let's see. Tina Taylor writes, organizations like the NAACP has fought against racial injustice for over a century, from lynching, segregation to police brutality today. So to be a member is honorable. See? Somebody writes, dude is keeping it real. Hit dogs holla. Yeah, and so do people who get outraged about BS. Sister V writes, I didn't see anything wrong with what Wolf said about Sanders, Conway, and Coulter. She deserves some criticism for lying for Trump with a straight face. In past White House events, others have said some pretty tough things too and didn't get this kind of backlash. That's what they do, right? Nicole Taylor writes, oh my God, please cut off this nonsense. Graston writes, dude is keeping it real, please. See, I want you to see what's going on. I want you to hear for yourself what's going on out there. There's a war out there for your mind, for control of your thoughts. Omar writes, these guys have some truths, but they should stop playing to the Fox News crowd. Really? They have some truth? I didn't hear a lot of truth at all. Top 5 issues facing Black America. Let's pick back up again. Where were we? We were somewhere in here. Let's see if we can clue back in.
Daddy shared this responsibility with baby mamas. Yet, While baby daddies are blamed and rarely shown compassion, baby mamas are rarely blamed and receive both compassion and support. This lopsided dynamic and the previously listed pathologies stem directly from the number one problem facing the black community. Problem number one, unquestioning allegiance to so-called progressive policies. Unwavering loyalty to progressive liberal policies is the primary reason these dire conditions persist. It both makes them possible and perpetuates them. It's no coincidence that progressivism is the common thread that binds predominantly black cities where single-parent homes, failing schools, rampant poverty, and crime predominate. Look at cities like Detroit, Philadelphia, and Baltimore. They've been run by progressive Democrats for decades. If their liberal policies were at all effective, these cities should have become models of economic growth and prosperity.
This is the new BS.
Instead, they're models of dysfunction. By fostering and exploiting the victim mentality, discouraging self-examination, subsidizing baby mamas, and making excuses for black thugs, so-called progressive policies don't alleviate the problems that afflict the black community. They aggravate those problems. You may have noticed that racism did not make the list. Why not? It's simple. There will be no solution to the problems afflicting black America until more blacks recognize that the issues plaguing our community are ultimately self-inflicted. Does racism exist? Sure. But there are other problems far more serious. And waiting until there are no more races will mean waiting and making excuses forever. I'm Talib Starks for Prager University.
Yeah, I'm a Gilligan with a lot of bullshit on my mind. I mean, you heard it for yourself. The number one issue is progressive policy. See, this was all propaganda from the very beginning. This is the damn Republican Party trying to convince black people that your problem is the Democrats. Right. Yeah, that's your problem. Something tells me if we looked into the history of those cities that he talked about, that we're going to see a lot of issues that never get discussed. Yeah, it's progressive policies, because conservative regressive policies, that's going to work for us. Oh, yeah, the Republican Party, they've got the answer for black America. And meanwhile, the Republican Party basically ignores you. I mean, they'll throw out a token here or there. You get your Ben Carson here or there. You know what I'm saying? You'll have a Blackwell here or there. You know what I'm saying? But I still get the feeling as if when it comes to black people, the Republican Party doesn't really engage as much as they could. You know, that's just my take on it. So there it is, the top 5 issues facing black folks. The number one issue is black people they need to vote for the Republican Party. Wow. Wow. Somebody writes, Cavs will go 7 with Toronto. They might. We'll see. Cam's in the house. He writes, Michael Max said it best. Quote, but whenever a black man stands up and says something that white people don't like, then the first thing that black man do is run around and try and find somebody to say something to offset what has just been said. There it is. Omar writes, if you subscribe to white supremacy, you are a victim. Drop writes, I'm starting a podcast. I'll try to offer a different point of view. I'm retired and not in this to make money. I think black people should not live by the color of their skin, by the content of their character. Black without borders. Well, but what I'm trying to say is, I don't think that black people are out here. I don't even know what that means when you say black people should live not by the color of their skin. We don't have an option. That's not an option. Tina Cole Taylor writes, they want us to forget our past so we lose the motivation to fight for total equality now. When people buy into that narrative and try to arrive at a post-racial society without recognition and retribution for our ancestors' horrific struggle, then they are straight fooling themselves. Cam writes, he needs to tune in to Bev Smith. He needs to tune into the Nathan Ivey Show. Sorrenthy writes, morning. Drop Squad writes, criminal justice reform is a black issue. How about economic justice? Omar writes, bingo. Progressive policies wasn't made for black advancements and shouldn't be blindly followed. I'm not suggesting that any agenda should be blindly followed other than the agenda that people set for themselves. So if Black America has an agenda and it works, Democrats, Republicans, progressives, conservatives, whatever, boom, there it is. But that's not the world we live in. Fame writes, good morning, Choppers, Minister Graxton. I'm getting Talib an application to join the alt-middle. I thought he was already in. Grand poobah of that nonsense. Kamir writes, is the NAACP going to address and change the ruling a black man found hung in Georgia off the Martin Luther King Bridge, homicide to a hate crime? Has much changed since the judicial system? I think not. I did see that, Karamia. I saw it on, who was it? It might have been Tariq Nasheed, actually. I think it was Tariq posted that. And the caption that he put up was sort of like, he doesn't think that it was a suicide because there was a Klan rally that had happened in Georgia. And then they found this brother swinging from the Martin Luther King Jr. Bridge, which I don't believe in coincidences either. That circumstance seemed very suspicious to me, Karamia. Very suspicious. I'm looking at this like, wait a minute. Could this just be just like a coincidence? I mean, without any hard evidence, we have to conclude whatever they tell us it is. I mean, they say it's a suicide, but it's quite interesting. That's all I'll say. Quite interesting. Let me ask you a question. Has anybody seen Shabbat at any events this year? And is he doing events? I'm sure he has, but I'd like to know if any of you have actually seen him with your own eyes. Mr. Hollywood writes, good morning. Good to see you, Mr. Hollywood. Come on in. Discussing many matters this morning. Some crucial, some less crucial. And did you get a chance to get down to the Center for Closing the Health Gaps event? You know, the weather actually held out. That event is notoriously known for the weather. Like every year the weather comes in and just, I mean, you know, I won't say it kills the event because they do it no matter what, but it definitely can have an impact on the crowd. We'll put it that way. And this year early on, I'm like, man, it's not looking too good. And it turned out all right. White nationalist Richard Spencer's supporters have dropped the lawsuits against the University of Cincinnati. That's good to know. And the unemployment in Greater Cincinnati is at a 17-year low. You know, that's great. That's something that Donald Trump's going to run on. He's going to run on the economy, even though he's not done a damn thing to help the economy whatsoever. But he's going to run on the success of Barack Obama. Yeah, it is. Get ready for it. Omar writes, Cam writes, I saw Shabbat at the Lincoln Reagan dinner. That's it. Well, I might expect to see him at the Lincoln Reagan dinner. He said, that's it. Omar writes, Tariq Nasheed is the king of race pimps. He snores like white supremacy, white supremacy. That's funny. That's funny. What are you trying to say? How dare you disrespect Tariq Nasheed? You so damn disrespectful for that, man. Bringing up stuff like that, man. Don't try to dog that man out. That man is doing us a favor. So you know that Donald Trump, instead of being at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, he had another one of these rallies. And here's what's happening. Now the White House Correspondents Association that puts on the dinner, they put out a statement basically trashing Michelle Wolf, saying that her monologue was not in the spirit of the mission of the dinner. How could you? That's exactly what it is. And what came down to it is Sarah Huckabee Sanders and these damn Republicans. They can take it. They can dish it out, but they can't take it. So basically, they invited this woman on. She told some jokes. Trump got mad. Sarah Huckabee Sanders got mad. You should have saw her face. And now they're going to do exactly what they see. When a guy at the top is reflexively vindictive, that gives license for everybody else to be that way. Shit, we all, oh, you got to say something about us? Okay, great. We got you. And that's one thing about corporate media, and I won't even say corporate media the thing about corporate media is that you only have the illusion of free speech. Because when the boss rolls in and says, hey, I don't want you to say A, B, C, and D, or hey, I want you to do this, that, and the other, or hey, stop doing this. That's when you understand, oops, this is a job. I work for somebody else that really makes a decision. And not everybody can see things the same way. Like somebody at the White House Correspondents Association, they released a statement in which they declared Michelle Wolf's monologue not in the spirit of the mission of the dinner. Donald Trump is saying that they should close it down. They shouldn't even have a dinner anymore. Here's the same man who used to go to the dinner. Here's the same man who was roasting Donald Trump, the president of Barack Obama endlessly. And he was doing it in a racist manner. Here's a clip of NBC's Andrea Mitchell saying that Sarah Sanders deserves an apology and that she was grossly insulted. She didn't say that when Barack Obama was racially insulted by claiming that he wasn't a citizen. It's crazy. And that's why I played it for you. I want you to hear it for yourself. She didn't say anything that was out of order. Those are the jokes. Simple as that. Graston writes 2018 voter turnout will doom AFTAB. I know you're hoping for that. Graston writes Shabbat's gonna beat AFTAB. It might have been different in 2020 when POTUS is at the top of the ticket. Well, there's no reason why you can't come back for more 2 years from now. Don't you see the setup? If I'm AFTAB and here it is 2018 and I go for Shabbat and get close, I come right back to him in 2020 when I know the turnout's coming up. Turn it up. Mr. Holly writes, Hi, Nate. My brother, who is Tanika's father, passed away last week. If anyone can help, I have a GoFundMe link on my page. Thank you for telling me that, Mr. Hollywood. Make sure you also put the link inside the Friends page as well. Okay? So we can all say, yeah, we do know about that, man. And condolences to you and your family. Absolutely, Mr. Hollywood. And Tanika, if you happen to be listening, I know you got much more important things on your mind right now in terms of your family. Larry Frazier writes, Steve Shabbat has only been seen at Skyline Chili on the west side. That's it. Bunky writes, Tariq is the truth. Okay, got Tariq Nasheed fan. See, this is the reason why we need independent media that's not going to fold up like a lawn chair when somebody gets a little bit upset. The kind of media that will support its hosts. You know what I'm saying? And understand they're not going to pull a Jamel Hill on you. Remember what happened to Jamel Hill? I'm telling you, Trump is winning, man. It is amazing. It is amazing to see the influence that Trump has, not just on politics, because we know that, but on popular culture. Colin Kaepernick, Eric Reid. You know damn well that part of the reason why Eric Reid is still struggling to get a job, I'm not sure if he's found a job on the NFL team, has to do with the fact that he was kneeling with Colin Kaepernick. You know that and I know that. You know that and I know that. You know that and I know that. If Eric Reid had never taken a knee and joined Colin Kaepernick, he would have a job right now. Because he did, he does not have a job. Simple as that. You know it and I know it. And remember Jemele Hill? Jemele Hill, what? She caught what? The attention of who? Sarah Huckabee Sanders. She was asked a question about it during the White House press briefing. I'm telling you, Trump got this on lock, y'all. He's got it on lock. People are afraid of his tweets. They're afraid of his vindictive nature. And they want to make sure they stay on his good side. And that's what I see. Drop Squad says, since 1965, the condition of the black community has been a money-making business, i.e. race hustling and poverty pimping. Remember, I lived it. You lived it, huh? Okay. See, Muzone writes, Tariq is definitely the truth. Haters? Drop Squad writes, where are the sons of the Million Man March? That was a political event for the re-election of Bill Clinton. Man, there were some brothers that went to the Million Man March and then came back to Cincinnati and started putting things in place. Okay. And there are a lot of brothers, and that was the whole point of the Million Man March. The whole point was come to D.C., get the message, and then go back to your community and do good works. So, you know, it was up to those individuals. Million Man March. And see, the thing about that is black leaders that have any kind of like challenge the status quo, they always get chopped down. The problem with Farrakhan as a leader is his anti-Semitic rhetoric over the years. Now, you might say, well, shit, Nate, he's just telling the truth. You can think that all you want to. But what I'm saying is, in terms of the media and a lot of people in the public, they don't rock with him like that. He's not a very highly thought of individual in that way. And so because of it, it's real easy to invalidate anything good he might have done. It's real easy. It's like, oh, Farrakhan? Bump Farrakhan. You know, you hear it. Drop Squad writes, Roland Martin had to go to social media and Dr. Boyce both were on the cable and got the boot. Who's cooning who? Yeah, but see that you're right about that. You're right about that. Dr. Boyce decided he was going to go online and build his own media entity, and he did that. He's doing that. Roland Martin used to work for an entity that produces media, and they decided, you know what, we don't want to do this show anymore. So I read that he's got a contract to like October. It'll be interesting to see if Roland Martin is still with I guess that would be Urban One, TV One. Is he still with TV One in a year? Everything I see says no. Everything I see says no. They're probably not going to re-up his contract, and they're going to let the brother walk. You know, that's just what it is. They're going to let the brother walk, and he'll probably go online. I've already seen some things he's put on Twitter and stuff like that. And he'll do his show online, like I'm doing, like a lot of people do. Fame writes, Tariq Nasheed is very entertaining. Been rocking with him since 2002. But he does make up facts. And he has a street pimp back in the day. He was a street pimp back in the day. That's why I don't follow anyone blindly. We all got faults in the past. Well, I can think of one person you follow blindly. His name is Braxton. Your lips is glued to his behind. Everything he says, you there to back him up, no matter how nonsensical it sounds. So that ain't true. You do follow blindly. Big L writes, come together was the Million Man March. F Bill Clinton, right. I think the Million Man March was less about Bill Clinton and more about black men coming together. And it wasn't perfect because they tried to exclude women, and then women got upset because if I don't know what it is about certain women. If men say, hey, let's have a meeting just us men. Oh, what about our rights? It's not about your rights. It's about men having a moment with men. Men coming together as men, that's still okay. At Minister of Government and Civics, got it, B. Yeah, I bet it's true. Trump is slowly making America great again. Can't get breakfast at a Waffle House? You might get slammed and your clothes ripped off of you. Yeah, that's all police procedure, right? Yeah, that's police procedure. We slam you, we take your clothes off of you. Did you hear about the pizza delivery man who was delivering a pizza in Cincinnati and got shot? You see about this? This is crazy. And also, I want to talk about Annie's Inner Circle. Police are raising the alarm about the East End Club. And I saw this and I thought, what the hell's going on here? This is over in the East End. I used to spend a lot of time in the East End. Okay, I'm still fond of the East End of Cincinnati. There's some folks over there who still might remember me from the East End. But remember when recording artist Luke Campbell came to town last summer and he hosted an event that was billed as a twerk contest? I'm about to read. This is literally on WCPO's website. This is written by Joe Rosemeyer. Quote, twerking is a form of dance that involves rapidly shaking one's buttocks up and down while in a semi-squatted position. Cincinnati police say that the contest quickly developed into an on-stage sex show in exchange for money. And it had the support of the employees at an East End nightclub. And the ownership of the club, Inner Circle, each face a misdemeanor charge of procuring prostitution. And because of it, their liquor license, well, Cincinnati City Council's Law and Public Safety Committee will hear again on Monday why police don't want Inner Circle's liquor license renewed. And I'm amazed by this. I am amazed by this. Quote, I mean, it was a sex act on stage for probably 450 people, 400 to 500 people to see. Okay, see, I'm going to go ahead and say something to you. Okay, let me go ahead and say something to you here. Put it down. I understand community standards and all, but I remember looking at that 2 Live Crew video, and things got raunchy, okay? Basically, you had some girls that was like bending over, they was kissing each other. You might even had like some oral sex that was going on the stage and all that kind of stuff. Now, you can say what you want to say about what you think about certain standards, but let's imagine all these people are adults. What difference does it make? What real difference in the community does it make if at a private club behind closed doors where no kids are, all adults are doing something that consenting adults want to do? If you want to twerk it. If a dude pop out a 20 and say, hey, mama, let me see you twerk it, and she twerk it, he throw a $1 bill at her, $20, she just got a hustle on. I'm just sorry. See, there's a difference between sex trafficking and a woman who decides that she wants to twerk on stage for $20. There's a big difference between the two. And you got these moral authority police around here that want to try to convince us and tell us that it's actually the same thing. It is not the same thing. I'm not mad at any sex acts that happened on that stage. I was not there. Now, I know you got Ohio law and Cincinnati law and all this kind of stuff, but that's what they want to do. Quote, that is horrific to me. That's from Christopher Smith, and apparently he said that back on April 16th at a meeting. Apparently Luther Campbell came to Cincinnati, and Cincinnati's never going to be the same. It's also alleged that Campbell tried to initiate a sex show at a St. Louis nightclub, but staff there stopped him before any women exposed themselves, because that's what Luther Campbell does. Somebody sent me a message saying that they need the liquor license for the stadiums. Damn. That will open in the West End. Follow the money. I'm just saying though, like, yo, this is what Luther Campbell does. If you say, well, Luther Campbell's coming to town, you already know what's going to happen. He has that kind of music and he's looking for those kind of women. There are some women who will go to the club and dance while Luther's on the stage. That's what they do. That's what they do. They don't have a problem with it. It's no big deal to them. They don't mind it. And like I said, if a young lady decides that she wants to get up and twerk, and she's trying to twerk for some dollars, what difference does that make? Let's say she wants to twerk nude for dollar bills or $20 bills. And it's all consensual. Nobody's forcing her. She's choosing to do this. She knows what she's doing. What's the problem? What's the problem? And I know, community standards, and I get it. I understand that conversation. But what I'm saying is as long as we make sure these women are being taken care of, and so they're going to lose their liquor license. Was this a one-time event? Was this a several-time event? And apparently there's like a long history of this club and things that have happened there at the East End. I mean, listen, with these clubs, people know what they're getting into, and then it's going to draw a certain element. That's why everybody don't go to the club like that. But for people who go to the club, this is what you get. And I mean, they're alleging that some stuff, not so good stuff, is going down at this club. Somebody said that 10% of the East End's violent crime is tied to the club. Now, if you don't have a liquor license, you don't have a club, because nobody's going to go to the club and you can't buy any liquor. That's why people are going, because liquor is there. So no liquor license means no club. The Georgetown brothers. The hip hop rap music, the mindset of that group can lead to violence. He called it the music of crime, the music of low morals. Patrick Ormond is the president of the East End Area Council, and he's known the Georgetown brothers for decades. He said the crowd the night of the twerking contest could have gotten out of control and believes the staff shut down the sex acts as quickly as they could. And he says he doesn't blame the owners for crime at the club. He blames the music. This Patrick Ormond sounds like he needs an education. So it's the music. No, it's not the music. It's the mentality of the person that's listening to the music. If you got a weak mentality, if you're susceptible to those kind of things, it doesn't really matter what the genre of music is. The messages, you're going to be susceptible to the messages. It's not the music, dummy. He sounds like a damn fool. It's not the music. It's the messages in the music that impressionable minds, maybe they don't have a daddy in their life, maybe they don't have a mommy in their life, that an impressionable mind will hold on to. That's the real issue. Very interesting. I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, on one hand, I don't like it because, I mean, Luke come to town. Man, damn. You telling me that there's no place for Luke to come to Cincinnati and perform? Now, as much as y'all might want to try to disqualify him, man, Uncle Luke and the 2 Live crew are just as much a part of hip hop history as Salt and Pepper and Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. And when we start talking about the pantheon of hip hop stars, we always lived them out because it's inappropriate. Oh, they were banned in the USA. Oh, they talk about sex. Well, we all talk about sex. They were just more upfront and explicit about it. There should be a place where we can see 2 Live Crew in the Cincinnati area. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what's next, man? The Fushniskins come to town. We're not going to have a spot for the Fushniskins. I mean, all I'm saying is 2 Live Crew is raunchy. That's what they do. And this is about adults and adult standards. If I want to go see women from Cincinnati to twerk at 2 Live Crew, then I should be able to go see them twerk. I mean, who complained? My thing about it is, who complained? If nobody complained about it, then what's the big deal? And I'm talking about nobody who was there. You can't complain about something that happens on a video like, oh, they got a twerking contest down at the East End. Oh, I hate it. And you're living in Westchester. If you go to a club and things pop off, the ladies there, you got Luke. You know what Luke does. This is what he brings. It's the kind of atmosphere he brings. The girls start getting disrobed. Cheeks is wobbly. You know what I'm saying? Areolas here and there. And that's what the people in that room are cool with. Nobody's being taken advantage of. Nobody's being drugged up and made to do something. Nobody's being intimidated. These are just consenting adults having a moment. I mean, I'm struggling why this is my business. I'm struggling to see why this is. And really, if they didn't put it in the media, we never would have known about it. We never would have known about it because the people in the room, well, actually, if they didn't put it on social media, right? People put the video on YouTube and, man, we spent a whole week talking about it. See, Cam writes, Annie's used to be live. Vicky writes, the Million Man March was about putting money in Farrakhan's pocket. He gave the black man ideas, go home with no money. Oh, boy. Fame writes, the talk show host has been inspired by Michelle Wolf and telling distasteful and insulting jokes. This talk show host is wild, B. He ain't whack, but he be fronting, though. Drop Squad writes, the Nathan Ivey show is a byproduct of the Million Man March. I'm telling you, I can predict politics in the media. Tariq, Omar, and many others are not new. Remember Khalid Muhammad? Yes, I do. Somebody writes, Annie's was wild in the 2000s. I think I went to Annie's a few times. Omar writes, all these stars crying about Waffle House and Starbucks start a chain. I mean, there is never a problem getting a liquor or clothing line started. Bunky writes, good one, lame up. Graston writes, Luke pulled out hundreds and it turned into a brothel where ladies publicly giving head. Would you let your daughter go talk show host? If my daughter becomes a grown person and she decides that she wants to go to a show and something jumps off and she's in the audience and that's what she wants to be, I'm not going to know about it. She's grown. I'm not worried about what a grown person does. Stop asking me dumbass questions, B. Omar writes, these celebs are so-called woke because it is profitable. You can thank the black think tank for that. What? Drop Squad writes, I have not seen any black men my age, 58, being interviewed or asked, how did you make it? This is 2018. The truth is the father figure is a dying breed in the black community. Well, that means that as men, we got to take the responsibility of being more responsible for our sperm and being responsible for the consequences of our sperm and being choosy about the women we give our sperm to. Because if you give it to the wrong woman, now you got a baby with her. You don't even want to be with her. So that's number one. It starts right there, the responsibility of men. Brian writes, neighboring businesses owner on 9 News was blaming rap music for the bar issues. Here we go again. Yeah, I just read that. He's the president of the East End Council. And the East End, I don't know. I think they got 2 East End councils. Like they got one East End council that's like the new money. And they got another East End council that's like the people that's been living there for years and years and years. So if you've never been to the East End, I mean, you know, just like we talking about gentrification here, it's happening down there as well. Where historically, man, you know, the East End, if you really think about it, is prime location. It really is, because it's right on the river. And despite the flood threats, there are people who pay $800,000, $900,000 to build a home and live on the river. Wake up in the morning, right there, you got the river views. You got a barge going by from your bedroom. That'd be pretty tight. And the East End, if you drive down there, man, they had a lot of homes that was just like on their last leg. You could just tell that they didn't have a lot of money down there. And now you got these new developments. They got a new development down there. They putting in new bars down there. There's like a barbecue joint down there. What else is popping? They got some new developments, some new apartments and condos. So the East End is going through the same thing that a lot of neighborhoods are going through. It just doesn't have that racial element. Because what's happening in the East End is you got poor white people that are being pushed out because, and I want to say rich, but, you know, white folks that can afford it are buying up those new homes and buying up those developments. Nobody's ever talking about that. We never talk about what's happening in the East End at all. Because since it's not racialized, it's like, who's going to talk about it? Who's got the voice to talk about it? You know? So the East End has its issues as well. Yeah. Ruby's got a spot over there. The Riverview East Academy, the school on stilts. Although that school it may be on stilts, it is not built to be functional if there's a flood. You got the motors of the elevators that were in the basement, you know, on the ground floor. That doesn't make any sense. Jane writes, good morning. Muzone writes, wasn't Luke banned from Cincinnati before when he did a concert at Prime and Clifton at the time? Or was that too short? Drop Squad writes, Nate, have you ever heard of a power vacuum? In the black community? There's a leadership vacuum in the black community. Pardon me. None of fathers and grandfathers. No, we got fathers and grandfathers. That's not the issue. The issue is, you know, fathers, perhaps what you mean, should I say, is fathers and grandfathers that are not connected into the lives of their grandchildren and their children. We got plenty of fathers and grandfathers. I think your point you're trying to make is they're not active in the lives of their children. Clue Magic writes, that was the same thing they said when Chuck Berry invented rock and roll. Then they gave the recognition of starting a new genre to Elvis. Omar writes, Luke is hip hop to any real hip hop head. You're right about that. Drop Squad writes, if criminal justice is the number one issue, that means a lot of black men are locked up. That's why you never hear a mention of granddaddy, only grandmother. I hear grandfather all the time. I know grandfathers. I know black grandfathers, believe it or not, for real. Bunky writes, speaking of sex, I put in work last night. I had to go to the fridge. What the hell? Oh, my God. Big L writes, Vicky want money, went to the Farrakhan for the Million Man March. He paid for it. Big L writes, I see we have some new colonizers around the chat room. Yeah, all are welcome. Come on in. Cam writes, don't let fake pages influence your thinking. Absolutely. Sister V writes, the Million Man March did inspire the development of the Cincinnati Black Chamber. This happened across the country along with a few other things that is never talked about. Yeah, there were brothers that went to the Million Man March. They went back to their communities and they tried to put some of that stuff in place. Now, whether it was successful or it was enduring or whatever the case may be, I mean, I'm not really sure. You have to make up your own decision on that, your own mind on that one. All I'm here to say is that there were people that did it. And they tried to have a very serious impact in the community. Again, not sure if these folks are still around or how you can get in contact with them. I just know that these people do exist. You got to give props when props are due. Somebody writes, 1992 to 96 was as crazy in politics as now. NWA, Million Man March, Tawana Brawley, Al Sharpton, all to keep Bill Clinton and Democrats in power. What are you talking about, Drop Squad? None of that was to keep Bill Clinton and Democrats in power. What are you talking about? Now, Drop Squad is out here on this one, but again, the opinion is appreciated much all the same. That's all good. We can agree to disagree. I don't think that this night, I don't know, man. I mean, my thing is, my only issue with this is making sure that the women involved were not taken advantage of. If this was something that was purely voluntary, they made some money that night or had a good experience, everybody's cool on that standpoint, great. Okay, if you want to go to Annie's Inner Circle and Luke is there and you want to twerk it out, you want to have a twerk contest, there it is. Like I said, there's people out there that have been listening to this music for a long time. So when Luke comes to town, they want to have fun. They want to have fun. See, let me move on here. Still give me your thoughts on that. And we'll see if Christopher Smitherman, is he going to grandstand with this? Because, you know, he loves the grandstand when something happens with a bar. Drop Squad writes, I know a lot of people might think something. I think he just deleted it about him being a white guy. I think he's trying to say, and he deleted it. This was Drop Squad, that some people might think that he's a white guy, but he's not. No, Bunky, don't say that, man. We do not. No, Bunky, no. We do not want him to drop out. All are welcome. Listen, we got to walk it and talk it. We can't say that, you know, I can't sell the show and tell people that we can agree to disagree. And then when somebody enters and we disagree, we want to go at them. No. Lev Frazier writes, cooning is the same as being a house nigga. A true coon is a coward in the face of his own. How is any black person in love with a guy who hates anything black? I don't know. I don't know that. I don't know the answer to that one. That is a mystery. A 19-year-old pizza delivery driver was shot over in Bond Hill. And I'm sure that the authorities are looking for this individual. A Papa John's pizza delivery driver was shot trying to do his job on Sunday in Bond Hill. Cameron Wagner, 19 years old, was at home on Lillian Drive when a man following him pulled a gun and demanded cash and car keys. And the shooting happened around 2 a.m. And apparently Cameron Wagner attempted to jump off the front porch where he was supposed to make a delivery and run for help. And then he heard gunshots and the guy shot him through the leg. The bullet ricocheted, hit his pelvic bone. I mean, just a terrible situation. Quote, then get this. He dropped the pizza off, right? So something happened. He knocks on the door and he must have been confronted after knocking on the door because he jumps off the porch, runs off. The guy shoots at him, right? The people in the house, from what I'm reading, they don't even hear the shots. They never even knew it. They open the door, they see their pizza, they pick up the pizza, they bring the pizza in. They're eating Papa John's pizza. This guy's laying outside bleeding. The gunshots went through the back of his leg, tore through the main artery, and then connected in his pelvic bone. That young man is lucky to be alive. You know you can die from getting shot in your leg, right? Yeah, and fucking bleed out. You'll be dead before your family can say goodbye to you. That any wound is a serious wound. What in the hell? Cincinnati police say the shooter is a black male between the ages of 18 and 20 years old. And the family has started a GoFundMe. And so far they've raised about $1,200. That was as of See, what was this? The 27th? So I'm not sure where the GoFundMe is right now. Let's see. On the 27th, it was at $1,200. And now it's at $3,700. And if there's nothing more to this story, and it is as it is, that means that somebody was probably stalking them. Like, oh, we see the pizza delivery guy. The one thing about pizza delivery guys is you think they might have cash. Like some people think paying cash. So you think he might have a couple $100 on me. And so you're just trying to get a quick little smash and grab it and take off. This dude starts running away. What do? You try to kill him. Graston writes, don't let fake people tell you fake news from fake accounts. Graxton, a.k.a. fake accounts. Akeem writes, but everybody loved that song on the radio where the lyrics go, let me see that big booty twerk. Let me see that big booty twerk. I'm a Mike Tyson that booty. Is that how it goes? I haven't heard it. Drop Squad writes, if I started a podcast entitled it Uncle Tom's Condo, who would follow me? Black people. LOL. Oh boy. It depends. Uncle Tom's Uncle Tom's Condo, right? That could be interesting. Akeem writes, toot toot Mike Tyson that booty. I'm very uncomfortable saying Mike Tyson that booty because Mike Tyson was convicted of rape. Okay, so I'm very uncomfortable with that. Miss Sister V writes, Nathan, what do you think about the lawsuit dropped on Chief Isaac and the disgruntled Bailey? The details are scandalous. I think that it's a part of the effort to get the chief, and I think they're going to get the chief. And I think that the next chief of police is going to come from the West Side. That's what I think. And I say that based upon my thoughts and information that comes to me. I think the police chief is, he's in a world of trouble. And I don't think that this young brother, Duhaney, if he becomes a city manager, I don't know, it's too early to tell, but I don't think this brother's going to stand up for him. I think that Cranley made promises, and now it's time for them promises to come in. So I wouldn't be surprised if after all of this time, after everything, we find ourselves right back where we were in terms of the leadership of the Cincinnati Police Department. I mean, come on now. We've had 3 black chiefs. Come on. That's going to come to an end. Come on now. Let's think. So that's what I think. I think it looks bad for Elliot Isaac. And the implication is that there's a possible abuse of overtime. And the implication is that Mr. Elliot Isaac, perhaps, I've heard people in media implying that he had perhaps an inappropriate relationship with one of his subordinates. The prosecutor asked the state auditor to look into police overtime. Now, is the state auditor a Democrat or a Republican? Who is the state auditor of Ohio? Oh, Mr. Yost. He's a state auditor. So it must be nice when you got the prosecutor in Hamilton County and it's a, hey, look, Dave, handle this. And they're all Republicans. These Republicans stick together like glue. They stick together. So we shall see. See, Grasser writes 2-1 vote to object to a liquor license of Annie's. Pastor voted no. Drop Squad writes, it's a lot of places in the hood that pizza companies will not deliver. Kim Hardy writes, Nate, who do you think is behind the effort to undermine the chief? I think that there are subordinates, and I think that it's the wishes of the mayor as well to get a chief from the West Side. Deborah writes, Washington City Council meetings, they are about to discuss the 911 issue. Smitherman just announced that the Blush family are there. Grafton writes, if Isaac was using OT to pick favorites, get Uzi from Bardua while on the clock, as Butler says, he needs to go. So within 1 week, you've completely turned around. Of course you're going to say that, Graxton. I mean, you're not going to contradict a damn thing that comes out of Smitherman's mouth or that comes out of the mouth of the mayor. My issue is, after all of those assurances that Chief Isaac was safe, here we go. And I don't want to hear all this stuff about Bardua. Somebody writes, it's the mayor and the vice mayor. To your question, Cam, somebody writes, it's the mayor of Cincinnati, John Cranley, and the vice mayor, Christopher Smitherman. Like I told you, a couple things about that I've been told about the mayor, that, you know, he's got a certain style. Okay. That's one thing I've been told. And then with Smitherman, what I've observed about Mr. Smitherman is that Mr. Smitherman is a very intelligent man who is highly motivated. And he thinks long term. He thinks long term. A lot of what we're dealing with right now, the circumstances, and I talk about the media, this was set in place many years ago. This was all a part of Smitherman's plan. And much like Lord Peter Baelish, I've seen the plan blossom to fruition. He's on the cusp. He's close. So it seems to me that whatever the mayor says, the vice mayor is there. He's like a parrot. I wonder if Smitherman feels as if he has the ability to speak his own mind on some of these big issues. Maybe he does. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't. But it's very, number one, no one's surprised by this. We all knew this. We can see it. And local media is complicit in it again. So this could be yet another black professional that will have to leave the Cranley administration. We shall see. Let me see, to Sister V, this is Charlotte Girl Wonder. She writes, will Scotty J be picking up the Chief Isaac and driving him to City Hall like he did Chief Blackwell? Hashtag wait for it. See? Big L writes, colonizers 101 troll and put out fake news. New. Cam writes, state auditor is a Republican who gave ECOT glowing reviews. He lacks credibility. Graston writes, that's what young got killer doing on here, Big L, and on social media. Well, actually, that's what Smitherman has you doing on social media. You better get to your job, man. Get those accounts going. Get your accounts to be liking and resharing everything. Graston, did Smitherman buy you some knee pads? I won't read that. I will not be a part of that. Drop Squad writes, the eye cannot see what the brain does not know. Oh, Cardi B. Oh, okay, I get it. Lawsuit, police chief allow illegal overtime abuse. And more details are coming out, it seems like every other day. And now the Ohio State Auditor is targeting the Cincinnati police officers' possible abuse of overtime. And the allegation is that, there were officers that were giving preferential treatment, including one strong implication is that at least one female officer may have had a further relationship with the chief of police. I cannot tell you if this is true or not. This is what's being reported. What I would all say is that this is all, like, again, Cincinnati loves to have high profile, ongoing media stories about the actions of black professionals, black people in this city. We love it. So seeing essentially what amounts to almost like a mugshot of the police chief, okay, caught up with this is all too familiar. This is very familiar. This is what we do good. Someone writes, the Chiefs don't approve overtime. That's handled at the district level by the captains. Someone writes, here we go with the chief. The mayor is a classic racist. He does it time and time again. And the focus of the negative impact, it's always directed to the black communities. Ask Braxton to name any good that the mayor has done for black people. So there it is. It's out. It's very interesting. So who does approve the overtime? Do we expect the chief of police to approve overtime for individuals? That does seem like a stretch to me. I don't really see that. If it's handled at like the captain level, well, isn't that the captain's fault? Isn't that his deal? I'd have to say yes. I would have to say yes, 100%. It seems like, I mean, again, we all knew that the police chief's job was up, was in question, was in doubt. We all knew it. No matter what the police chief, or no matter what people said, we all knew it. We all knew it. Let me move on. Oh, man, this is very, very sad. A 10-year-old boy was found dead inside of a dryer. Apparently, the little boy was playing hide and seek and thought it might be cool to hide in the dryer. The third grade students. She said the mother was cooking. And she's got 2 kids, right? And she said she don't know what happened. She said, she said her children were playing in her apartment in the apartment and through the complex. And she says one of her kids come to her and say, hey, he's dead. She rushes to the boy. The boy is purple with his eyes open. He was gone by then. And apparently there's a video of paramedics who are performing CPR on the boy. That's terrible. Kids, man. I remember trying to play in the dryer when I was little. Yeah. I remember playing hide and go seek. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to hide in the dryer, but I never fully got all the way in because I was afraid that I would get stuck in there. But I thought about it. Drop Squad writes, Big L writes, Rush Limbaugh must be off today, maybe. Drop Squad writes, to all the people or bots, I'm a real person, and I'm doing research for my new podcast. The Nate Ivy Show is the first live show I found that I feel is where my content might be interesting. You're always welcome, man. You're always welcome. Come on in, brother. Camille writes, why is Assistant Chief Deputy Brian Gilligan, who is a Gilligan, speaking out regarding allegations on Isaac's bad decision on police overtime abuse? Could he be Chief Isaac's job as well? Could he want Chief Isaac's job as well? Let me see. Drop Squad writes, I'm retired at age 57. Chocolate Girl Wonder writes, the thought of Isaac having sex, ew, yuck. So you wrong about that. You are wrong. Omar writes, the mayor is cleaning house. Isaac needs to get his resume updated. Drop Squad writes, Nate, tell me when black politicians started to run black urban cities. Never. That's never happened. Graston writes, the chief's office approves the captain's OT. Graston writes, the Captain Bardua got $80K in OT, approved by allegedly the person she's been sleeping with. Omar writes, if the mayor is so racist, why did black people vote for him in high numbers? Democrats, that's why. Chocolate Girl Wonder writes, $80K in overtime, that's like having a second damn job. Graston writes, the mayor is so racist, he appoints independent black men as vice mayor over Democrats. I could say something about house Negroes and field Negroes, but I won't. Cam writes, black people didn't vote high at all. In fact, record low numbers in the black precincts. Oh, boy. Thanks, Nate. I think it will be a good interview. Maybe. Let me check you out, Drop Squad. Let me see what you're working on here. Looking at your avatar. Drop Squad 52, huh? Okay, what do I have to lose, huh? I'll say, okay, great, man. You gonna start putting content out there? Great, man. Go right ahead. Let us know. We are all fans of podcasts. Charlie Go Wonder writes, the vice mayor is black? ? Who knew? Amazon writes, okay, out of my little meeting here at work. What I miss? The usual. The usual. It's looking bad for the police chief, man. It really is. Well, it is. It looks like it's all set up. See, overtime is a problem all over the nation, not just in Cincinnati. Detroit was 5 times higher than Cincinnati. You know, this happens a lot when you get a black person in a position. It's like things that sins of a particular department become just his problem. You know, things that have been, in place for a long time and everybody knew was wrong. When you want somebody to leave, you make it their problem. See? Omar writes, I'll tell you one thing, Bardua might have got $80K, but if the former city manager is successful in his lawsuit against the city, he could get hundreds of thousands of dollars. See, Mazone writes, no, he appointed a whipping boy, a Yassa boss, as his pet vice mayor, Slitherman T-Grag. Right. He didn't appoint an independent black man like you said. All right, let me jump inside the Friends page. But before we do that, we got to jump into a break. I've got to take a quick break. We'll be right back. This is the Nathan Ivey Show, live, local, and vocal. If you'd like to share your thoughts, go to nathanivey.com right now. My phone lines are still not up. I know you're getting tired of me hearing me saying that. I'm nearly tired of saying it to you. But whatever the case may be, it is the truth. So sit tight. We'll come right back. If you want to leave a comment, you can do so inside the Chop Shop, a.k.a. the chat room. If you want to leave a voicemail, go to nathanivey.com, click on the blue tab that reads send voicemail, and just follow the prompts. And I'll get your voicemail and play it live on the show this morning. Live, local, and vocal. We'll be right back.
I'm Donna Wilson. There are a lot of items on this week's economic calendar. It's another big week for corporate earnings. Some of the companies reporting include McDonald's, Apple, MasterCard, Aetna, and Dish Network. And the Federal Reserve Board policymakers open a 2-day meeting tomorrow. No change on interest rates are expected. But economists warn that due to the fast wage growth, the Fed may raise rates a total of 4 times this year rather than 3. And in the business of entertainment, singer Bobby Brown is honoring his late daughter. In memory of Bobby Christina Brown, Bobby Brown recently created the Bobby Christina Brown Serenity House. It's a not-for-profit organization designed to assist women who've been victims of domestic violence.
All money managers may seem pretty much the same. But while some money managers may recommend high-commission investment products, Fisher Investments avoids them. Some money managers may have hidden and layered fees. Fisher Investments never does. And while some money managers are happy to earn commissions from you, whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're structured to be on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come to us from other money managers. Talk with us and find out why so many experienced investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments, clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
That's your Bloomberg Urban Report. I'm Donna Wilson.
The Western Scrub Jay. I was taking my science class on a virtual reality bird-watching expedition. All of a sudden, Charlie Kane shouts, "Arr! Arr!" He had spotted the elusive black swift, a bird rarely seen in the wild. For a brief moment, Charlie had not the eyes of a 9-year-old boy. He had the eyes of an eagle.
Teachers just have better work stories. Find out how creative teaching can be at teachdfw.org.
You look nice. How was work?
Well, it was fourth period, civics.
The kids were giving me the third degree. Was a UFO seen hovering over Washington, D.C.? Was a fisherman attacked by a 320-pound shrimp? They'd been bitten by the fake news bug, all right, and it was holding on like a driver's ed student to a steering wheel. How was I going to get a bunch of wide-eyed kids to wise up about what they see on the internet? Then it hit me, like a dodgeball on field day. The name of the game was News Snoops. Each student got an article and 2 minutes to decide if it was credible or a fake. They were able to use fact-checking sites to get the cold, hard truth. Now the little hotshots are even teaching their gullible grannies a thing or two about phony news. But how was your day?
Pretty good. I got a new title today. Office Birthday Party Planner.
Oh, fun.
Teachers just have better work stories. If you want a creative job worth talking about, head to teachdfw.org. Brought to you by Teach and the Ad Council.
This is the Nathan Ivey Show. Get ready to be engaged. Get ready to be informed. Get ready to be enraged by the man City Beat magazine called a talk radio rebel. And your host, now back to the show.
All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome back. This is the Nathan Ivey Show, live, local, and vocal. Currently 9:42 a.m. in the Queen City. And let's get back into it, shall we? Numerous things on the plate. The Just Shut the F Up Award for this morning.
Shut the F up, okay? Just leave it at that.
It goes to a brother named Talib Starks, who produced a video, the top 5 issues facing Black America, and he got it all wrong.
Shut the F up, okay? Just leave it at that.
Just shut the fuck up. Similarly to all the people that have a problem with Michelle Wolf.
Shut the F up, okay? Just leave it at that.
She has her Second Amendment rights. I mean, Trump can mock the handicapped people. He can say vulgar and really promote sexual assault, grabbing women against their well-being. He can be soft on racism. He can be a buffoon, but it's okay. Sarah Huckabee Sanders is a liar. She does lie. It's very obvious. She is dancing on a hot tin roof, dancing for Massa Trump. You know it and I know it. Every time she opens her mouth, she lies. So the fact that she was called out to me is nothing more than comeuppance, and it was beautiful. It's beautiful. It's all good when Obama was in the White House. Now all of a sudden it's a problem. Also, we've talked about local issues here in the city of Cincinnati. I talked with numerous people over the weekend, including the CEO of the Center for Closing Health Gap. That's right, Dwight Tillery. We had our moment. We actually spoke face to face. I will say that Dwight is very, very, he said he was very fond of the show, very fond of the platform, and said a lot of encouraging things about the show and about the effort that I am putting forward to give Cincinnati an independent voice. I was a bit surprised by that. And I hope to get him on the show in studio real soon. Looking forward to that. I really am. Looking forward to it. Kermit writes, isn't Soul City in North Carolina ran by all Black city officials? Not many. And she has a link to The Guardian. Thank you so much, Kermit. The King writes, hey, Nate, is that a pool in Chocolate Girl Wonders? Avi, excuse me, ma'am. Are you hiring for any strong black man pool boys? I promise not to do cannonballs off the diving board. Graston writes, funny listening to blacks tear down independent black leadership. Y'all should have went this hard for Yvette. who I found over the weekend is now engaged. Her and her boyfriend are now engaged. Congratulations to Yvette Simpson. And I ran into Shaka, who is work with Yvette at the event on Saturday. It's good to see her. And happy for Yvette Simpson. She's found love. It's great. Find it wherever you can find it. Love is a rare thing. I don't care if they're black, white, green, or purple. Somebody wants to be with you and build with you and, be responsible to you, roll with them. Larry Frazier writes, but I will say, Brother Nate, Cranley is a closet racist who knows he needs the people of color's votes. When he's done and before he leaves office, almost everything will be as white as snow. And the Mac boys and the TGs won't be there. Well, we know Grasson talking. Basically Grasson says, Larry, we there without being there. Max and I have professional interests that don't include City Hall. I run my own consulting firm, TLG Strategies, LLC. Max are into healthcare. We good over here. Well, you tried because Rayshawn, y'all know y'all wanted Rayshawn to get on the Metro board, which was never going to happen. I still believe that the mayor and Smitherman set him up. I really do. Because there was no way in hell that he was going to be appointed to the park board, in my opinion, after you went on Facebook and said those kind of things. So either he never really intended to, and it was all just some BS, or behind the scenes, the mayor and Smitherman and whoever gassed his head up like, yeah, you got a real shot here, man. You ride the bus every day. Yeah. You could do this. But what makes you think in today's world that you can disrespect people and show that kind of silliness, lack of maturity, lack of discretion, and then those same people are gonna vote for you? I mean, it was fool's gold from the beginning to me, but I think the mayor set him up because what happens is, why would the mayor do that? To make it look like, after that happened, I bet Rayshawn Mack was like super mad at city council, and he gonna be a super soldier. He's gonna be a super soldier now because he got denied and all this other kind of nonsense, man. You gotta be wise. You gotta watch the people around you because sometimes people will set you up and play you and make you think, oh no, he played you, when in fact they knew they was the one playing you the whole way. The whole way. That was a really interesting. See, that's the reason why they hate Wendell Young, because Wendell Young eviscerated Rayshawn Mack. It was not pretty, man. Wow. And so that's why they go so hard at Wendell Young, because they're mad at Wendell Young, because Wendell Young, and he didn't lie. He just kept it real. You're too immature, son. Period. And it was quite funny. David Mann went hard too. David Mann went hard, but they don't go after David Mann. They go after Wendell Young. These folks are crazy out here, and they got the nerve to talk about breaking people down. Police. Ken writes, Katie Vogel will be the next bus rider on the sorter board. Better Bus Coalition has pressured our elected leaders in the city and county to hear our voices. We will be heard. Ken writes, some people will sell out for a pat on the head. It's shameful. Right. Man, if you're going to sell out and get something out of it. Don't sell out just for a pat on the head. I'm telling you, I'm going to say it again. Rayshawn Mack got set up by the mayor. He got whoever charged him up. And here's what I would say if I was Rayshawn Mack. Whoever was the loudest voice charging you up is the one that set you up. Because Stevie Wonder could have saw that wasn't going to go down like that. It just didn't make any sense. I mean, the vulgarities, the immaturity, I mean, the sophomorecness. I mean, there's just no way it was going to happen. So people gas you up like, yeah, you're going to do it. You're going to get on the sorter board. And then when it don't happen, it's like, see, they are enemy. I told ya. And see, for some people, that'll charge their battery up, man. For some people, nothing charges them up more by what somebody almost did for you. What they almost did. I'm not really concerned about what somebody almost did for me. I only invest in people that actually invest in me when it actually goes through. I'm saying, watch that, Rayshawn, if you're listening, man. Don't let these cats charge you up and use you. It's very obvious, but I feel like it's falling on deaf ears, so I'll move on. See, Mac exposes 6 dens purposely. They claim they wanted a bus rider, but voted Mac down. Yet they vote the next time around for someone who doesn't ride the bus, showing them to be a hypocrite. No, that's not what happened. What happened was Mac was sent out to do a whole bunch of silly stuff in public spaces. You know, selling your name. I mean, just some of the stuff I read was just so over the top. And true to my nature, because I'm a good brother that cares about other brothers, I tried to warn people. I said, damn, yo, all that stuff on Facebook is a bad look. Remember I said that? I mean, I had no idea things were going to shape out the way they did. But in general, I just feel like there's a certain way that you should conduct yourself, even on social media. And I try to share that with people like, yo, bro, you looking crazy out here. I'm not looking. I know what I'm doing. Okay. So, you go on social media, you linking all these council members, you on Facebook doing all this crazy stuff, and then you want to sit in front of these same people that's cool with some of the same people you criticized, and you think it's going to go down with you? That's amazing to me. It's just the nerve, actually, the gall, the arrogance to think it was going to go down, and it was so funny. I watched it over and over again, man. It was quite hilarious. Don't get me started. I could laugh about that for hours. I won't go there. Grafton writes, Katie Vogel equals political hack. Oh, boy. I don't even know who Katie Vogel is. And now your name is brought into this. Oh, my God. But I wish everybody the best, though. I really do. I mean, I wish you well. He did not expose the Democrats. No, that's not what happened. No, basically what happened is, and see, this can happen, and I think David Mann brought this out, or maybe it was Wendell Young. And I tell people this all the time, even my family, watch what you put on Facebook, because when people are trying to make decisions about employment, one of the first places they're going to go is your social media. They want to see what kind of person you are. They want to see what kind of persona you've built for yourself online. And it matters. If you're in a position to hire somebody, you got 2 candidates, they look pretty much the same. You do some light work. Like all you do is just go to their Twitter page. That's light work. You just go to their Facebook page and you see things that you think could be a problem. Guess what? You're not going to get that job. Because from an employer standpoint, why take the risk? If everything else is the same and everything's equal, you got one candidate just wilding out on Facebook saying things that nobody really, the decent people don't really want to be associated with. Then why would you hire them? You're not going to do it. And that goes for any walk of life in which you're dealing with human beings. I don't care who it is. It goes for anybody. And on all walks of life. I mean, you could, at all levels. I mean, you can be a professional. You can be the head of a company. You can be the president of a board. It doesn't matter. Loose lips sink ships. And a lot of people got their battleship sunk in the uncharted waters called social media. So watch yourself out there. I've said it to you again. You can never say that Nathan didn't tell you. In case some folks, you got some young men out there, their father wasn't in their life. Here's what your daddy should have told you. Don't put dumb stuff on Facebook. If you're drinking alcohol, keep it to yourself. You got an alcohol problem, keep it to yourself. You got a drug problem, keep it to yourself. Okay, you got a weapon, you got to consider, keep it to yourself. Nobody needs to know, especially not with a weapon. The only people that ever see your weapon should be the people you about to use it on. That's when they see it. They should have no idea about it. You don't go on social media. And again, I don't understand the things that people say. I could never be ever convinced to go on social media and do things that make me look crazy. I don't get it, but everybody is in it for different reasons and everybody has different viewpoints. This is my viewpoint. Other people, they look at their social media as like, ding, ding, let's put the gloves on. This is where I do what I do. Okay, great. I get it. But all I'm saying is it doesn't matter whether it's a sorter board or this is your first job out of college. Be careful. Treat your social media like it's your business account. That's how you should look at it. Like, You don't want anybody, it doesn't matter what, you're proud of everything you put up there. You can stand by it. Because you're going to have to. You are. Whether you know it or not, you are standing by it. People are judging you by the things you say and the things you do. You talk about victimology. Whine. Oh, they didn't choose me for the sorter board. I wouldn't have chose your ass either. Clowning out here on social media. So why do that when I can get somebody else who doesn't have this kind of baggage? And again, for younger people, be careful. Don't think, oh, I'm 17. It's my social media. I can do what I want. Mm-hmm. You sure can. Until people start making decisions about who they want in their work environment. You sure can. Oh, only put me and my girls, we wild out. You twerking on Facebook. Okay. I'm not telling you not to twerk on Facebook. All I'm saying is everyone is judged by appearances. And I don't care who you are. Everyone gets judged by appearances. Everyone gets judged by appearances, whether it's fair or not. So why make things more difficult for yourself than you need to? That's how I look at it. Nate, Drop Squad writes, Nate, how will the Dems get back those blue states that Hillary Obama lost in 2016? Obama didn't lose anything. He wasn't running. Ohio, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. Where have all the black votes gone? Well, listen, black folks have been uninspired, should I say, by candidates on both sides of the political aisle. But a lot of smart political strategists and Doogie Howsers and big brain political scientists, they are predicting a blue wave this year because Democrats are going to be engaged and to go out to vote against Trump and anybody who perhaps stands by Trump. So we shall see. We shall see. Child to Go Wonder writes, hey, Graxton, tell them to hurry up and release the rest of the text messages. I'm here for the drama. See, thank you, Child to Girl Wonder. Thank you. I love it. I'm here for the drama. Cam writes, killer pushing for bus riders who will get the votes. There are 2 seats up in August. At least one will go to a full-time bus rider. Graston writes, talk show host, we know what we doing. More texts coming from Gang of 5 and someone in here gonna get exposed. You heard it here first. Uh-oh, somebody's gonna get exposed. Ooh, I hope it's me. I would love to be exposed. I hope I get exposed because exposure for me means more clicks. Expose me. I want to be exposed. Sounds like headlines. Me. Yeah, you're exposing people and nobody gives a damn, man. I don't care. See, Graston writes, sorta board is volunteer position. Mac is a nurse getting banked. Think he tripping? Nah, I can see Mac winning a seat on council in 2021 with ease. Oh, man. Damn. You handling out, you gonna run as a Republican? You handling out, damn, man. You got it like that, man? Man, Graxton is a powerful dude. You can get people elected to city council just like that? Damn. Let me see. Cam writes, Mac will win a city council seat with ease? ? I guess you'll be the consultant? ? Fame writes, right, Graxton. He hated on the black male appointment, but it's okay with this white. What? I bet this hoe on Rise. Wait. Oh boy. See, oh boy. Child of Good Wonder writes, she's patiently waiting. So am I. I hope I get exposed. Expose me and then put it inside local media. Put it right on the headlines. And make sure you add the NathanIV.com to it too. Exposed. Out of here. Larry Frazier writes, with all sincerity, I would never vote for a Rayshawn Mack type TG. But if a young lady like TNT would have a desire to run, I would be behind her. She has the heart to help her own. Drop Squad writes 2008, 95%, 2012, 93%, 2016, 88%. The steady decline in the black vote for the Democrats? I mean, I don't think you would say that, but you have to remember in 2008, you had somebody who was, he was really attractive at the top of the ticket. That was Barack Obama. So that's where that 95 came in. 4 years later, he was up for re-election, 93. In 2016, we had Hillary Clinton. And I understood the policies. I thought that Hillary Clinton was a much better option than Donald Trump, policy-wise. But there was a lot of people that really weren't caught up with her campaign. It felt like she really wasn't drawing a lot of people out. And that's the risk. That's what it came to. Camille writes, 49 posts from Graxton on Nathan Ivey show so far. I see a cry for help or attention. We are here to help you, Graxton. We love you, brother. Graxton writes, I'm interacting, Camille. Don't need your attention or help. I keep telling you, Graxton, he's right about that. He doesn't need your attention. He doesn't need your help. He's got the attention that he wants from the people that he wants, man. As simple as that. Thank you so much for listening. Damn, this time just blew by. It seems like we just got things started just a short time ago. Of course, I'll be back tomorrow morning with more superlative flows on people, politics, and pleasure. Tell a friend, NathanIvey.com. Again, NathanIvey.com. Thank you so much in advance. Pat writes, side note, Nate, how can an elderly chopper get by one of those T-shirts? Well, you know what? From my patrons, I'm going to take care of you. Don't even worry about it, Pat. I will be in contact. Yeah. And I'm working on a new design for Chop Shop / Cyber Wakanda T-shirts, right? So we can be branded up. Yeah, nothing says we're together like similar T-shirts. Ask Graxton. I've seen him wear a John Cranley T-shirt. I'm just messing with you, man. Ain't no problems with it. It's 3 minutes after 10 a.m. in the Queen City. And thank you so much for listening. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. bright and early. And we'll be talking about everything, people, politics, and pleasure. Until then, remember our motto, winners focus on winning, losers focus on winners. So stay winning, choppers. Stay winning, and we'll talk real soon.